You are now listening to the Sae Bae Cast, the #1 old school RuneScape podcast featuring guests from all across Galanor. To support this podcast, visit the Patreon link in the description.
All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 134 with Zoepancakes and Nine Rain. How are you both doing today?
Just dandy. Really happy to be back.
I'm good. Yeah, it's like I don't think. Do you normally do like two or more guests on a Sae Bae Cast?
I've never had 3 or more. I've only ever done the 1 guest and the 2 guests. So.
Why? Okay, yeah. I have a question.
Okay.
Why Zoe and I?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because like you messaged me and I was like, that sounds fun. And then later I was like, why?
Okay, so real talk, I've wanted to get, well, first of all, I loved both of our conversations solo. Like, obviously, I just had Nine Rain on. It feels like last week, even though it's been a few months. Mm-hmm. Zoe, it's been, what, almost like 14, 15 months-ish?
It's been a really long time. I feel like I was in a very different place last time we talked.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to Zoe again, and I wanted to talk to you again, Nine Rain, but I wasn't even going to have you guys on for probably another like few weeks to a month. But the problem is like I've asked, I'm not going to announce who they are, but I've asked a few people to come on the cast, but I don't get timely responses. So it's like I'm kind of expecting them to respond. And then when they don't, it's like I haven't had a cast in almost 2 weeks. So we got to get the ball rolling. So then I'm like, you know what? This is the time to get repeat guests on so it doesn't feel like I'm just, hey, do you want to come on the cast 2 days beforehand? Like, I feel like with you guys, it's just more comfy. It's more like chill. You guys understand. So, and you guys also are podcasters. So,
yeah. That is true. Yeah, I was thinking about why me and Nine Rain were on together. And then I was like, you know what? I feel like if there were 3 people in the old school RuneScape category that like somehow accidentally joined a cult and moved out into the middle of the woods, I feel like it would be the 3 of us.
For sure.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd join a cult on my own free will, but who knows?
Okay, no, that's what I mean. It wouldn't be on your free will. You wouldn't even know it was happening until it already happened.
Okay. I see. Yeah.
I feel like if I saw you two heading down that path, there's a good chance I would just be like, yeah, me too. There'd be a voice telling me like, you should warn your friends, and then there would be the other one like, join them, see what happens. And I'd be like, that guy sounds cool. So,
okay, I need to ask a big question. What the hell happened to Bankstandin and Nine Rain? You guys did 1 return episode. What the fuck?
Yeah, so Jimmy and I are recording one, I think next week.
Ooh.
It's so basically, I don't think we have any plans to turn it into a weekly thing or anything remotely like that.
Okay.
He's been going through a lot of life changes, myself as well, and so we just thought, I mean, Jimmy and I don't ever talk anymore. We sometimes shoot each other a message and then kind of like waterfall for a little while, and then it's another month or more. And so it's more than anything just an excuse for Jimmy and I to hang out. And so I was actually in an Uber on the way home, and I was like, man, I miss Jimmy. I'd hang out with Jimmy. So I pull up my phone to message him on Discord, and as I'm typing, Jimmy starts typing to me. And I was like, dude, podcast? He was like, holy shit, I was literally just messaging. We hadn't talked in over a month, and like at the same moment, we're like, dude, I'm gonna message that guy and we're gonna hang out. So that's really all. Yeah. So that's really all that it is Jimmy and I looking for an excuse to shoot shit and Bankstand. And people like it. We like it. It's a lot of fun. So
that's, yeah. And it's got to be organic. It is a struggle when life changes happen. I mean, he's getting married to Flutten, right? And you're getting
pretty sure that already happened a while ago. Like a lot. Like that was the last.
They already got married?
Yeah.
Oh,
brother,
Jesus
that was
Christ.
Yeah, dude. I know. Well, they did it like sneakily.
Oh.
And so I found out that last time I was on Bankstandin.
Oh, I thought they like got engaged. Or I
No. full ass married.
Oh,
Yeah,
I literally
like
didn't
took-
know that. Now,
Like took a vow,
okay.
which I'm pretty sure has a cool, a few couple passive buffs, but
Such
other than
as?
that, yeah. Well, I wouldn't pretend to know. You know,
You'll know soon.
yeah, unmarried myself, but yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So
speaking of,
Nine Rain, congrats on the engagement.
thank you, man. It has been, I think, a little over a month. I'd have to look at my calendar because I wrote it down. Not good with dates, so I put them all in my calendar, including my own engagement. So yeah, it's kind of funny because we live together, and so, we got engaged, and then nothing really changes. The nature of the relationship, in some ways, and then, now we're planning to be married, and take that, like, so our future plans change in a really cool way, but still every day to day is exactly the same. And I'm sure a lot of people who get married wake up 1 or 2 or 3 or however many days into their married life and think like, this is exactly the same as before. You do the stuff around the house, you kiss him on the forehead, you go to work, you come, so it's really nice though. I like fiance is the last thing I'll say about being engaged is there's a temptation in me to elongate the engagement and just extend it as long as possible because
Oh, God, you're one of
fiance.
those.
Well, no. We're really not going to do that. It's going to be short. But
How short?
fiancés are rare.
That's true.
That's true. They are the
Like,
rarest.
Yeah, the rarest. You're in
Yeah.
this huge phase and then a tiny little fiance and then another huge phase. And
is true.
it's such a fancy word for like me and Bree, who are, can be quite silly people sometimes. And
Yeah, I love that my introduction to her was like the girl that pissed her pants, and then you guys were like engaged. That was like all I really
Oh my
knew.
God! Wait, yeah, I told that story on Face. Okay, go watch the episode. I don't know when it is, a while ago. A quick plug. But for like a quick refresh for Sae Bae's audience, we Bree and I accidentally, and I underline that, tripped out on some mushrooms at a party and got the laughies so much that Bree peed her dress. And was really, honestly, it was a big moment for us because she was very cool about it. Like, she was like, oh my goodness, I full peed my dress. And she grabbed my hand and then touched it to the dress. And I was like, oh my
Oh
God,
God.
you full on peed your dress. And then we just laughed about it some more. And then that was it. And so,
Now you're getting married.
Now
Yeah.
we're getting married. Like,
Put a
she
ring
didn't-
on it. Yeah.
She didn't freak out or cry or think like my life is over. I just peed my dress. It was like, whoa, wow, never done that before. And then, so yeah, that was, anyways,
Damn.
now we're here.
Yeah. No, I think that was said on the Base After Dark, and I think that was the story as well on when we first had our episode
Yeah,
on the
I
Sae
think
Bae
so
cast.
too.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay. You're
Yeah.
right. Okay. Well, there you
yeah.
go. There's the quick, that's the full story actually.
So let me ask you, Zoe. It's been what, I think like 15 some months since I had you last on the cast, and what's changed? What's been happening? How's
Oh
life?
God, it's felt like forever.
It really has.
I remember on the last cast being like kind of specifically annoyed that it was at that point in time because we were filming Gillinor games at the time, but I couldn't say anything about it. And I was like, oh, I feel like so much is going to change for me like after this. Like I wish would be like a few months later. So yeah, I guess Gillinor games happened. I feel like I've made like a pretty big like YouTube effort. I moved. I live in San Diego now. I don't know. I have a cat.
I like San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego rocks.
I really thought it was about 400 times better than LA.
Oh
And
yeah.
I tell people when they tell me, "Hey, I want to go to LA. I want to live in LA. LA seems cool." I'm like, "What you're imagining in your head is San Diego.
Yes,
You should
that's
go
really
there.
true.
If you go to LA, you're going to be disappointed. It's going to smell funny. It's going to be a lot of dirt in the air and on the ground. And then you're going to go to San Diego and be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
I like the
missed it.
people here a lot. It's like very non-pretentious.
Yeah,
That's good.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
So did you over fantasize the idea of going to San Diego? Because I think I definitely did that with Oregon, moving from Alabama. Now, don't get me wrong,
Oh, really?
Oregon's much better, but I hyped it up so hard.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I don't think I did actually. So I lived in New York City for like 7 years. So I feel like once you live there, everything else is kind of like meh, Not like in terms of how good it is, but just in terms of like dream places that you want to live as a kid. Like New York City was always like my number one dream. So everything else was kind of just like whatever. I didn't move here because I wanted to like be in San Diego. I just moved here because I wanted to be on the West Coast because all my family is in like Arizona and like Nevada and California. It's literally only my mom in Florida. So like it's just so hard to see any of my family or friends. So yeah, somebody had a roommate situation open up, one of my good friends, and then here we are.
Damn. And not qneeks.
And not qneeks.
Dude, where is he? Is he
Well,
okay?
qneeks was supposed to move in with us, and then 3 weeks after we moved in, he was like, "Oh, actually, guys, I'm not going to be able to make it."
After?
Yeah, after.
Does he still owe you money?
He doesn't owe me money per se, but I have asked him twice to pay for our TwitchCon Airbnb, which he says he's coming to, and he hasn't paid me yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
so
not going.
wait. So what? Where's our buddy, our long lost friend?
Let's ask Zoe. I
haven't heard.
I know everything.
Okay,
from
so
qneeks in
Yeah.
I can't. All I hear is stuff not falling through, and he's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, dude, where's qneeks? And they're like,
That's
he was
fair.
gonna be here. I'm like, where'd he go?
I don't mean to start like a qneek slander campaign. I love qneeks.
This
Don't
isn't
get me
a slander.
wrong.
This is only coming from a place of I miss him.
Yes. Yeah.
So if
for
he
all of
ever
you,
appears somewhere, I'd be like, hell yeah.
I think he's coming to TwitchCon. Yeah,
Okay.
for all of you Sae Bae cast listeners, you may be familiar with qneeks. He had a really good Sae Bae cast. Anyways, used to be a streamer all the time guy. Then decided to okay, this is the weird part. Like he was living alone and then he decided to move in with his brother to save money. And then he got a job as a car technician. And then he stopped streaming. So I think he like moved to like save money so he could stream and like not worry about it as much. And then he just got a job and stopped streaming. But he seems happy. So that's good.
That's important. Yeah, I feel like I haven't really talked to qneeks since, but it seems like for him streaming was extremely stressful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it is for most people, to be honest. Streaming is a very stressful pursuit, especially in like the early...
schedule really got to him because I think he's like always really looked up to people like XQC. So I think he wanted to try to stream like 10 plus hours every day. And I think the pursuit of trying to stream 10 plus hours like 6 days a week just kind of sort of, it's not easy. That is not easy.
Yeah, you got to be on drugs to do that consistently.
Or you have to be like Foe and just have like a literal like actual job schedule,
Dude,
yeah,
one or the other.
They are so crazy. Like I put Foe, Roidy, MMORPG, like Mr. Mammal, like those guys, like they are just consistent as fuck, and they've been doing it for like a decade. Not Roidy.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just figure out like the secret recipe, which is like waking up at a certain time, doing what you need to do before and after stream, and you've just figured it out.
And not being anxious on stream. You have to be relaxed. You have to just do your thing and not feel constant pressure, because that's generally the burnout is people aren't even comfortable in their own stream. They're constantly overthinking things. They're constantly... And I'm projecting this because I do this all the time when I'm streaming. But
people who we don't know and don't understand and have nothing to do with us.
No, but it's such... nobody begins streaming that way. Most people begin streaming and are just chilling because there's literally no expectation. You're just there trying to have fun. And then all of a sudden it becomes like there's like expectations. Like, okay, I've had really good streams before. They need to match what I used to have. And then as soon as that doesn't match, like that's when the stress starts coming. It's like, what the hell am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then, you can't enjoy yourself anymore.
Well, and then one of the things is once you set like goals or you like have a dream, like I'm going to be like XQC, you have all these expectations and you have all these, you can fail. If you don't really have a goal, you can't fail. So it's like, So it might be easier in some sense to not set goals and just kind of float by, but the odds that you're gonna accidentally be a massive streamer pretty low.
What it really has to be, like, you set goals, but you have to understand what you have achieved. And I feel like most people don't do that. I don't do that.
That's hard, yeah.
Seriously, like, I remember just the vision of being able to be a double-digit streamer, just 10 viewers consistent. Like, I have a baseline of 10 viewers was a dream to me when I first began. And then as soon as you get it, you don't appreciate it. You're like, I don't care.
Dude,
and then
that's
you just want to get partner number, and then it's like
enough.
It's never enough. Well, that's a healthy thing because there should be progression, but you have to understand and appreciate the things you have achieved, and we forget that.
Yeah, like for me doing YouTube, the temptation to solely judge a video based off of just the view count. Oh man, like there's a part of me every time a video hits 100K that's happy, and I'm like, yes,
yep,
nice, we did it. We've hit that number before. That's a good number. Me likey adds a digit. But then there's another part of me that like sees 100K and spits, and it's like, it should be 200K. You're a failure. This is stupid. You should quit. And I'm like, hey, voice, you could, So, yeah, I mean, certainly you lose. I don't know about losing appreciation, but man, it kind of like, it's eerie how quickly it becomes numbing. Like 86,000 subscribers. Now I look at that, I'm like, I just want more subscribers. That is just the feeling. It's like I have to make that number go up.
Yeah. I wonder how it feels to be like at the very top of your category. So for example, Settled. I wonder if he feels like, oh, my subscriber count is low, or like it needs to be higher, even though you're already the highest.
Of course he does.
Well, he's gonna like break out of the RuneScape category. He already has. So
Dude,
I'm sure he's comparing himself to like Minecraft YouTubers and people like that.
Exactly. All it takes is one quick glance over the fence to be like, 400,000. Those are pussy numbers. I should be doing Rust videos. Like, oh yeah, for sure.
God. I mean, and then you have people like PewDiePie who just quit. They're just like, I've had enough. Like, I've just.
God, that's so sick.
It
really is.
But I'm not gonna lie. That's just a crazy decision. I mean, obviously you're just filthy rich, so it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, I feel like that addiction is just innate in humans, or to like keep growing it. So actually just stopping seems so strange.
Yeah, well, I'd say likely the skills required to run and manage a channel that big for that long probably include the ability to not give in to those kinds of thoughts or temptations. And, he probably has lots of tools, either practices or daily habits or whatever, that help him, manage those kinds of intrusive thoughts. So probably as part of becoming someone who can manage and run a channel like that, you probably become someone who can quit and, decide to prioritize other things in their life.
Yep. So Zoe, you, I believe you recently passed 10,000 YouTube subscribers. Congrats.
Let's fucking go. Yeah.
I'm basically like Settled, but better.
Yeah.
Yo.
Just slightly better. Sorry, Settled. That's it.
Hey, but it's a good feeling to be growing though, right? Like you've got videos hitting 30K that are like, that feels good when the view count goes over the subscriber count, and people are watching it that haven't seen your stuff before.
Well, YouTube progress just feels so linear. Like in comparison, like my stream was going really well last year. Like I felt like my views were going up and up and up. Everything was good. And then I moved and then I fell off. Like my viewer count went down by like more than half. I literally remember 3 specific messages of people being like, why is your viewer count so low?
Oh my God.
Coming in and saying that. So the fact that I mean, I guess that can happen on YouTube, but it's not like, it's like you always have the opportunity to like put out something that could go viral,
Exactly.
It's not like you're just like hanging on by a thread.
Oh my God, that's such a funny but in a way it's hilarious how public our job is.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
That would be like, dude, imagine other things in your life being that, but like you're getting a little frisky. You're trying to get a little handsy with someone, your member ain't up to the task. Someone just like leans over your shoulder like, "Hey, dude, why isn't your pee-pee getting hard?" You'd be like, "Well, now it's really probably not."
My friend Crub tweeted something yesterday. It made me laugh so hard. He said, genuinely one of the hardest things about streaming is you have to look at motherfuckers dead in the eye when you're flopping. Like if I'm a writer and my book flops, I'm mauled in private. But when I'm live bombing, I gotta stare at a group of people and deadpan say, okay, so let's start Minecraft day 2.
Yeah.
So true.
And
so
everyone tells you it's all in your head, it's all in your head. But then you actually have 3 specific people come at you and tell you, and you're like, this is not in my head anymore.
Yeah, I imagine it's got to be something akin to when you're doing like stand up and you're just bombing.
Oh yeah, that is.
Because
Yeah.
I do feel that way
horrible.
sometimes. I've had it happen before where I put up a video, it did not do well.
Yeah, the juju.
And then I've had someone message me and be like, "Hey man, what happened with the latest video? No one's watching it." I'm like, I know.
Yeah, it's a little rough just being in constantly, especially live streaming. YouTube's a little bit different, especially. Okay, so I'm just gonna share what happened. I finally, after so goddamn long, made a video that was scripted, and it felt fucking weird. First off, it was like the top 5 thing that I made, and people noticed it too. They're like, "What the hell? Like that just doesn't sound like you," because it's actually scripted. And the luxury of being an actual YouTuber is most YouTubers actually put like good production value into their stuff, and so they actually do have a script and they sound really nice and everything's well thought out. And you can kind of have that as your image in a way. Like you can really think out who you want to be on YouTube, and you also don't ever have to show your face. For a lot of YouTubers. But when you're a live streamer, it's like people really get to know you. And it's like you don't have that mystique anymore, or you never had the mystique in the first place. But like, I don't know, there's something good about being a YouTuber that's like where everything's scripted and you can just make everybody kind of like you or see the best side of you.
Like imagine if nobody made fun of your YouTube voice because they'd never heard your normal voice.
Exactly.
Like, I love people with that, like, super manicured voice. Like, I don't know if you know who Josh is in gaming is. He has, like, a Yanil Chunk Man right now.
Yeah,
He has, like, the most manicured YouTube voice. And I know he sounds completely different in real life, but it sounds so fucking good in the videos, you know?
I actually watched the first episode of that maybe, like, a week or 2 ago. And that was one of my first thoughts was YouTube voice. But I'm a YouTuber.
But in a good way, yeah.
Yeah. And that's all that I, when I'm watching a video, the part of my brain that's just thinking about the video and not really even watching it is very large.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. The YouTube voice is really real because even after all this time, I thought having a script, I could still sound pretty just organic, but just be reading something. But no, the YouTube voice just slips in and you just start sounding really excited about everything.
I will say there's certain things you can do to not manufacture a kind of like relaxed attitude, but like tools to let yourself kind of sink into it. I do that first of all. I make sure that I write in my like vernacular.
Yeah.
Because
I
lot
say
of
it out
times-
loud while I'm typing.
Yeah, and I don't edit it if I'm going for that kind of sound, because if I just start using words that I don't normally use, or you're doomed. You're just doomed.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of is like how you write it and how you're listening to your head or like the voice in your head as you actually write the script. That plus I just do a ton of takes and I really fuck it up a couple times on purpose and do it like way off the wall. So then the bar's really low and I could just do whatever I want with the read.
Yeah. No, my bar is very, very low. I can literally just do whatever.
You're like, believe me, dude, the bar is low.
There is no bar. The bar is broken.
Yeah, I'm kind of a one take kind of guy, I'll be honest.
That's the way to do it, though. I mean, Zoe, like when I watch your videos, it does sound really organic. I will say, like whenever anybody begins a series or a new YouTube thing, it always is like a little bit stiff, but then it loosens up by like episode 2, 3, 4. It's like it's like, okay, this is just fine to just do a one take thing.
Are you saying with new YouTubers where like this is their first series that they're kind of starting? Or have you noticed that series, like if someone...
I think it's
I noticed that in like more practiced YouTubers too. It's like getting the ball rolling. It's like for the first episode, I feel like even some of the best YouTubers like don't know. It's like they don't feel extremely confident on like how to pitch the thing. So it's like it's just a little more effort to try and get you excited about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I see. Yep.
And like for example, if you've watched Coxie's new series, his pet series, it's like I mean, he just began YouTube, so I don't blame him at all, and nor am I blaming anybody for this. But it's like you can hear that it's very just like kind of stiff. Like I gotta talk in a certain way, can't mess up. And then as the episodes go by, it's just like, okay, this is a lot more free flowing. Feels good.
My God, I'm like, I'm cracking up remembering I was in Coxie's stream like when he first started recording episodes, and the way people would make fun of him for his YouTube voice was so funny because the difference was so severe. Like he'd just be like, yeah, like fuck you guys, whatever, and then he'd be like, well, everybody, like this is my series. Just this difference was so stark and so immediate, and everyone would just burst out laughing. He just like had to retake everything like 5 times.
And it's literally Coxie, so his community already just totally bashes on him for anything he does.
Yeah,
I feel he takes it like a champ. But
this place sounds fun. Well, I should go to a Coxie stream. That sounds
it is fun, but he gets bullied by his viewers.
There's some HLC members in there, so be careful.
Yes.
I think I actually think, despite my resentment for them, I think they like me. I make them look good, so I think I'm probably pretty popular among the high level community. I keep them high level, because high level compared to what? And so there's got to be like me.
What is the high level community anymore? Like people say HLC, but when I think of HLC, I'll let you guys answer as well. When I think of HLC, just the first thing I think of is like people that are going for 200 mil all that have never showed their face or anything, and they're just in Discords and just take like they live, breathe the game. But now I hear HLC is just anybody that's maxed. And I'm like,
no, that's not even close.
Like, where the hell did that come from?
No, high level community is just someone who has lost their connection with the casual player base.
Yes. I was going to say someone whose ego is just like out of touch with everything else.
So do you have to have the ego though? Because some people say you're HLC if you just play a lot. And you're maxed.
No. That's not even close.
Because the thing about the HLC is like there's some PVM clans, especially some skilling clans, especially that if you're involved with them, you naturally are similar to or are okay with those people's behavior, and that makes you like them. And
it's not that you have the traits of I can do all of these bosses, or I speed run Inferno, or whatever. It's that the people, at least how I use the word, it's people who have lost their perspective on what RuneScape is to most people. And by most people, I mean like 90% of the players of this game are really casual. And they should be. I think it's totally dope.
Okay, so... let me just ask. Sorry for interrupting. Am I HLC? Do you guys consider me in the HLC?
No, I don't think so.
No, you're not. You're not.
I mean, you could just tell me because
I don't think you are.
If we're going off of 9rain's definition, I would consider myself HLC because okay,
you're not though because you're reasonable. I think. I think that you are very self-aware of like your opinions and stuff on this game. I was on Twitter the other day and I saw some fucking whoever the fuck, anime profile picture that was saying like, why wasn't the poll broken up into like 2250 and above? Like anybody can get to 2100 in like 3 months.
Yeah, bro. I'm 2177.
No, he can't.
I've been playing this game since 2001. I migrated an account over from Classic, and my main is 2177. People who don't understand that our high level community.
I see.
This
I
is
think
my
maybe
job.
Sater, before you ever did a mushroom, you might have been HLC, but now you're not HLC.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was a big transition in my life. I feel like just that whole like last year just was pretty crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, but the thing is,
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, we're having a cool, productive conversation here, but I've just scrolled down on your YouTube and you've got 200 mil ranged.
Yes.
You're HLC. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out
See,
of here
that's
right
what
now.
I was at. That's what I was asking.
No, I'm kidding.
So so before last year, like that's like before the mushroom Sae Bae, like I appreciated being, and I still appreciate this. The thing is that I just don't play as much anymore, and I've tried to like venture out into different avenues of life and just not be at my computer all day. But I still appreciate the game and my stance on it, and I see the game a certain way still. It's not like my views have drastically changed, but it's kind of nice being a content creator that sort of people can see that I'm distinct from. I'm not just like every single content creator, but just has a 1,800 total level account and just whatever. Like, I feel like it's important to categorize yourself in a certain way. Like for me, I needed to represent like, okay, I'm high level Iron Man, and this is clearly what I've marketed myself as, and this is what people know me as, and so I kind of need to upkeep that in a sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
No, I get that. I think you need to like know your audience too, because I mean, honestly, when something comes into the game and I see a blog and I'm like, this seems Iron Man-y and I don't want to read it, I just like go watch your video, because I know that you will, even if I don't agree with your opinion, I know that you will at the very least like digest it fully and like create a fully formed thought about it. And then I can like, no, I feel like I generally agree with your takes, to be honest, but I don't play Iron Man full time, so I can't really speak on that. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the same way in that like I think people come to me as like, I think a lot of casual players like ask me my opinion on things because I don't really have one, and I just kind of like for people to have fun and do what they enjoy doing. And I think that maybe that's refreshing for people to hear sometimes,
can
that not
sense
everyone has
that.
such a strong opinion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Before they ask the question, they're like, Joey will be nice to me.
I just think people know I'm not like too opinionated about this video game.
Yeah, and it's kind of easy to just not be as opinionated when there's so many people that are so highly opinionated. It's almost like you need to balance it out by just like, dude, just take a fucking chill pill. Like, I'm just here. I just arrived. Like, I'm just here, just playing my game.
I don't understand the argument of people being like, how can you not care about this game? Like, you don't care about the integrity of this game. Like, fucking go outside. Jesus Christ. Like, the people that are getting super upset about sailing, I'm so sorry. But like, have you ever just like tried something and then figured out that you liked it later? And if you
like
didn't, it's
actual
like,
sailing.
okay, just fucking get over it. Like,
If you're mad about sailing, go actually sail, you piece of shit.
please go outside. I'm begging.
With sailing, I think sailing will be a successful update.
I do too.
But
It looks really confusing. I'm gonna be honest.
just to slightly push. Oh, by the way, Nine Rain, your mic's doing that thing. I can already tell.
Okay, thanks.
Good catch.
Did you start hearing it? It started sounding scratchy. I don't know.
Only after you said it.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
we're
you're
back
back.
at
Okay.
full power.
Good. I started hearing it.
Dude, thank you. That was actually because I can see the heads-up display like of where my all my hardware is kind of registering, and you caught that way sooner than most people. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No problem. It was on my mind, so it's just I was like waiting for it. So I will say, just to push back slightly, I appreciate anybody with a take as long as they're rational and reasonable. When people
that's the
just
problem, yeah.
when people just yell, and it goes on both sides. Like if people are just like fuck sailing, no reasons for it, just super irrational, or just have generally a poor take that's very self-centered. Now it's okay to want something in the game, but you have to at least present it as this is kind of selfish. Like this is the reason. And then, people can appreciate that, but you have to admit it. The concern that I have, and this is the pushback, is that people are starting to get the view that it's a video game. And if it if it doesn't absolutely 100% affect the way you play, just fuck off, basically. And so for people, they're like, who cares if, you know, for example, like a method comes out that's 300k agility XP an hour or something. It's like, it's a video game at the end of the day. So people have irrational takes on the opposite side of the spectrum, where it's like, who the fuck cares? It's a video game. Let people just enjoy it, you piece of shit. And some people do want the game to be balanced and have, you know, some element of, you know, it's still RuneScape. You still want the element of grinding and you want that satisfaction. And when people are just like, no, we just care about fun, give me the cake, everything, I tend to push back on that as well, because it's like, we have to find a good striking balance where you can be against updates reasonably and you can also be pro updates reasonably, but just give a fair argument as to why.
Yeah.
And I like people that are passionate about the game and show it, but like just fuck sailing or fuck anybody who says fuck sailing is just stupid. Like, they're both on the opposite ends and they're both just
I'm gonna give a hot take right now.
Okay.
I actually prefer the irrational arguments. The guys that get really upset and are like, fuck this, nah. Because then I don't really have to do any work to like actually respond to their argument. I can just be like, look at that piece of shit, he's mad, he's so stupid, and then I, like, you know, and then move on. So as someone
that's what the internet's just evolved into, though, which is just
saying,
so
bro.
it's so pathetic.
You know, just I you know, and trolling aside, I do appreciate the more rational people, but
Oh yeah.
when it especially in real life, like, don't come at me with that bullshit in real life, but online, happy to like point and laugh. I think,
no.
you know, and hopefully they're just making fools of themselves online and they aren't like that in person.
Well,
Because
listen, this is what can happen in an online scenario when you just start bashing on people. Or, for example, like what happened to me recently is, like, there was a Reddit thread made and people were just bashing my character. And so now my character is defeated. So anything I say is just a bad take because me as a person is just bad. So this is the problem.
You know, that is a pretty common tactic used in arguments.
It's very common. And the scary thing is even if you're like not involved in it, it can very quickly start enveloping into like other things. So, for example,
I feel like we're talking about something specific. Did something happen?
Yeah,
like,
there was something, but I'm not going to go into that. I already went into it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
but
okay.
I'm saying, like, for example, like on Twitter, if you were to be against something or someone or some group of people, and then that group of people actually does something that's very reasonable and rational and actually like, oh, this is actually a good idea. If you admit that it's a good idea, then it's like, no, you've now moved to that side of, no, we've already decided this group of people are pieces of shit. So you cannot agree with them fundamentally because, so that's the main concern is like now rationality's out the window because we have said that this group of people are, or this person.
there's a nice little idiom for that. The origin of which confuses me, because it's kind of stupid, but the idiom is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Which, again, not sure who was doing that in the first place, but you know,
but don't do it.
Yeah,
Not
don't
good.
do it. You get the point, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like who said so? I feel like someone said this. I don't know. Something about like truth. Fuck. It's like something true from the mouth of Satan is still true. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be something like that. Like
I really murdered some extremely common quote. So there you go.
Sounded accurate enough to me.
Yeah, I think we get it. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've seen things, especially when it comes to sailing. I feel like I've seen things on both sides that I agree with 100%. I think the only take that I really don't like about anything in general is like, I don't want it because I don't think it'll be good. Like, you have 6,000, 10,000 hours in this video game. Like, you like the game. It might be good. That's like the argument I don't understand, is that anything new is bad inherently.
Yeah. See, that's just a bad take.
That's just resistant to change.
Yeah, and it's actually I will accept somebody that believes that and that is their whole reasoning, but we don't have to agree that that's a healthy thing for the game. Like if somebody genuinely thinks, no, I never want an update in this game ever again, fair. Like you can have that, but there are reasons why that would kill the game. There are reasons why like that we could literally argue about how that would not be a good thing for the game.
Right.
And that's like where it really comes down to. I personally, your guys going to hate me. I personally voted no for sailing. But
I don't care what you did.
It's not
Dude,
because
I didn't
well,
vote.
you don't care because it's me. But if I was like a piece of shit that you already hated, then you'd have a huge problem. No,
I don't think that's true. I think you think I think when I say I'm not opinionated, I really mean it.
Okay. Well,
like I think it would be fun and I'm excited to see where it goes. But I also agree that it could be terrible. It could ruin a lot of other aspects of the game. I think I'm one of those people that like I'm very like agnostic in every part of my life. It's like if I don't know how it's going to end up, I'm neutral on it.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of people are quick to form opinions either way about what they perceive the outcome will be, and I'm just not like that. I just don't know it until it's there. So I'm fine with no. I'm fine with yes. I'm fine with either way.
And I knew it was gonna pass. I was actually very surprised it was only like 71%. That was actually very surprising. But it's one of those things where like I could have just not voted or just voted yes because it's pretty certain that it's like when you're on Reddit and you already see that this comment has like 500 upvotes. It's like you downvoting it is going to do literally nothing. Like just even if you don't agree with it. But yeah, I just need to say I am very excited for sailing still, and I'm trying to just be like, okay, like this is coming into the game, so like there's no point of resisting at this point because it already passed. But go for it.
I will say the tech demo, and I understand it's just a tech demo of moving the ships around and like actually
they
like
really
sailing.
need to stop showing that.
Like so fucking funny. I was dying laughing. I was like, what? I was like, what other game could put this footage out and be like, new coming to your favorite MMO? And it's just like like the dumbest
Puzzle
ship I've ever
Pirates.
seen. It's so funny. Like
dude, they started going down the path of showing, like, for example, Forestry was advertised with all Blender models where it didn't even look like the game. It's like, holy shit, this looks amazing because everything's just bright and vibrant and just everything. And sailing, I'm like, really? You guys chose to go down the route of like literally just screen recording somebody at Jagged headquarters that's testing out.
All right, so to be fair, they will do that. They'll do the Blender announcement and all this stuff once this skill's like coming out.
Yeah, they really should have just not shown.
This was their pre-poll results work where they were like, "Hey, we don't want to have another warding situation. We're not gonna try that hard."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Here, let's. I already need to take a break. I need to piss.
Okay. I will go pee then.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I will also do that. I'll be back.
Yo, Zoe.
Yo, what up?
I like how your YouTube chapters are the songs.
Are they really?
I don't know if that was
I think Jixie did that. That's cool.
It might have been YouTube AI as well.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
because I have it in the description.
Oh.
So it is auto.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, I see.
Cool, though. Yeah.
Full track list. If you put times in there, it just no way it did that. That's.
Do you like that or do you not like that?
I mean, I actually think it's dope personally because the amount, I don't know if other people care, but the amount of times I've been watching a video and go, holy shit, what song is that? If I could just hover the play bar and it says Mission Impossible, CIA Rooftop, I'm like, dude, that's so much better than knowing whatever title they decided to call that chapter.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think I mind that.
That's actually cool. Because I literally, I was like, Perfect Dark Chicago Stealth? What kind of chapter name is that? Then I was like, that's
I didn't realize it did that. Yeah, people were asking for the songs in like all the comments, so I decided just to put them in the description, and then I guess it just auto did that. I didn't even notice.
I like.
Okay, cool.
So, anyways,
I'm glad you like.
What were we talking about before we all went pee?
I'm trying to think.
It's like people. Yeah. We can talk about something else.
Okay.
Sailing. HLC.
We cannot,
Okay, let me ask you, Zoe, because you've been streaming on Twitch very regularly. I'm very proud of you for
Thank you.
being consistent. It doesn't go unnoticed, believe it or not. People that are consistent
you.
on Twitch, it might seem that it goes unnoticed. It doesn't. So it's really cool when people are consistent. Good job.
Yeah, and I actually updated my bookmarks and got rid of a bunch. Still Zoepancakes Twitch up there.
Yes, let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
Still there.
Huge.
So how is the Twitch? I haven't streamed in a bit. So how is the Twitch? Does it seem like Twitch is evolving into a new generation, or are we still in the classic like generation of? I don't know. I feel like you were the last generation, but
I feel that way too. Isn't that strange?
is there a new generation?
What's the new generation?
I don't
there's
know.
there's like generation gaps of streamers that come out. First it was
Oh,
like
Yeah.
you just mean new streamers.
Well, there's like, it comes in waves. Like you had all the like OGs, you have the Bodies and the Foes and all those people. And
then you
then
had
there was like the Zulu and like all that group.
Jace. And then you had
And
the
then there was-
Sae Bae and
Yes.
fucking or who? No. But you had
Wait,
everybody.
okay, so explain to me the timeline then, because I was not around for any of this.
So Zoe was saying it's like Bodie, Curtis, Foe. They're like the first kind of generation. Now,
What do we call them?
Were they Justin TV?
I think Bodie might have.
No
Yeah.
way Bodie was that.
Bodie was. I don't know if you. Oh, your mic's doing that thing again.
Okay. Thanks.
I guess he was right. It is every 20 minutes.
Damn, dude. No,
you're
I
good.
guess it's particularly bad today. I don't know.
So there's like Bodie, Foe, all them. They're like the grandfathers. They're like grandfather generation. There was another and Spark Mac and everybody. And then there's like another generation that was before Zulu and Jace. That was like the kind of Ice Poseidon sort of. Who else was in that? There was another generation in between that, but then there was like the Rigondeaux, Jace, Zulu, all those guys, and then there was like.
So what year are we talking for that generation?
So that was about 2016, I believe.
Oh yeah, this is still way before.
Yeah. And then
even started.
late 2018, early 2019 was like Will. I was in there. Fat Clouds. I'm just thinking of like people. There's tons of others. Oda Block was in that.
Wait, what? Oda's been around for that long?
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
around since like 2019 or early 2018, I think. Sorry, late 2018, I think. And then there was the Zoe, qneeks, Tasty, T-Pop. Like all those people were that seems like they were the COVID generation.
Yes.
And I
have
don't
a theory
know what's
about this
happened
actually.
since then. Okay, go.
I have we were, because we all started streaming because of the pandemic, which I think is fair. I
see.
think there's something that was special about the COVID generation, whether you like it or hate it, which is that like a lot of us lost our jobs and a lot of us were very passionate about something. Like we all had like careers and stuff before, not all of us, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we started streaming, a lot of us like took it very seriously because we're used to taking things that we do seriously. And I feel like since then we haven't really had a new generation. And I have a theory about this, and you can't get mad at me for saying this.
Okay.
But I feel like a lot of the successful streamers that have popped up like since my generation have been because they've been friends with or associated with other big streamers. And I think that's just because it's genuinely like Twitch is so oversaturated now. It is so hard to get started if you don't already know people and already have a community.
It's true.
People are just so married to the streamers that they're married to because they've been watching them, and there's a comfort in the people that you know. So if you find people that are similar to them or people that they like, then that's great. But there's not like a huge influx to kind of like take you out of your comfort zone in terms of the people you watch regularly.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's interesting because your guys' generation was definitely a lot more entertainment focused. It was like, It's not about RuneScape. It's about streaming. It's about gathering community, having fun, talking shit, not taking anything too seriously. The generation with like Zulu, Rigondeaux, Jace, like all those, that was more like
They're
RuneScape.
not fucking around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
they
we fucking live and breathe RuneScape. Like that was like the generation of we take this game really fucking seriously and we're gonna stream this because people want this. It's like people wanted the more like hardcore. My generation was kind of like the Iron Man generation where everyone started doing Iron Man and hardcore and all that. And then your guys' generation was just like entertainment focused. And like I said, I don't think we've had a distinct next generation.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though, because I've been watching a lot more YouTube and Twitch lately.
Yeah, I don't really watch too much Twitch nowadays either, so I don't really know.
What is
I've
up
actually
with-
been streaming a lot less too, which is like I'm glad that you say you think I've been consistent because I've been streaming consistently but less.
That's a good way to go. I mean, that's the
Streaming
way though.
consistently less.
Well, no. Like I
No,
feel like
I
so
know
I
what
used
you're
to stream
saying,
like
but-
5 or 6 days a week, 5 to 7 hours every stream. And like when I had a good week that I did that consistently, I was really satisfied with myself. But the amount of times that something would come up in my life or I'd like need a day to like work on YouTube or something like that, that I would just be so overwhelmed with my schedule. I was like, it was so rare for me to not miss a day of stream. It was just so rare. So now I only stream 4 days a week and then I have one real day off and then I have 2 YouTube days. And it's just perfect because I always want to stream. Like every day that I stream, I'm like, oh my God, it's been so long. Like it feels like it's been so long since I streamed. Like I'm so excited and like genuinely happy to stream every time. I feel like I finally found the balance of like, okay, this is enough that I'm satisfied.
That's so good. That's the way to go about it. It's like consistency is not about streaming every single day for 10 hours. It's about finding your groove and then sticking with it. And whatever that groove is. Like you could literally stream 2 days a week for 3 hours each. And that would still be consistent enough as long as you upkept it.
Yeah. And some people can stream like easily, like you look at Will and it's like, it looks like it's very easy for him to stream 6 days a week. Like it doesn't look like he's struggling with that.
He's chilling. Yeah.
For people like me and qneeks, it's just like, look, I'm not going to blame mental illness on everything that's wrong with me, but like, I don't think that I am mentally well enough to stream that often. And I think I've found the balance that this is what I can do.
That's a good thing. That's something I always struggle to find. It's like, yeah.
If I have any advice for you, I think you need to stream one less day than you think you should. Because then that day you'll be like, oh, I could stream today. But then you'll work on something else or do something outside and it'll make you feel refreshed for the next one.
Yeah.
One less day than you think you should.
That's for us mentally ill people like me. And
No, that sounds like good advice.
for a healthy minded individual that do whatever the
I
fuck
think that's
you
for
want.
anyone that like feels overwhelmed with streaming. I don't feel overwhelmed at all anymore. That's the last thing I feel.
So I mean, I have a similar tactic for a lot of things in my life. Because I don't know, you can kind of treat it like you only have so much willpower in a day. And some people might be like, that's bullshit. You can willpower through everything. And I'm like, okay, hard ass, go look at your life and tell me that you've just done everything you ever wanted to do every single day. No, you liar. So the point being, you can look at, I don't know, just look at your last like month. And if there's areas in your life where you're not doing what you would like to do, the odds are your goal is way too high. And so I think we talked about this a little bit on the last Sae Bae cast when I was on. You need to be humble enough to set the bar lower than you probably think so that you'll actually do the thing. So the idea of like streaming one day less than you think you would, like, than you think you should is actually a really good rule if it means you then just go do that every time.
I also think there's something valuable. Like if you're like, if you work a normal job, like 5 days a week or whatever, I think a lot of people struggle to find time for like hobbies or passions that they have outside. And it's really helped me to have one very specific day off. Like on Sundays, I barely touch the computer usually. I do like everything else that I need. I do not touch the computer. I just need a day away from that. But that means that like Monday is another day that I don't stream. And that day specifically, I'm like, okay, this is focused on getting everything off of my checklist YouTube wise. And like just having that one day to like work, but in a very relaxed way, like taking as many breaks as I need, going fucking thrifting in the middle of the day if I want to, stuff like that. It makes it feel a lot more digestible.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, and you said you have 4 streaming days, 2 YouTube days?
Mm-hmm.
Which days are your favorite?
Oh,
Well, and then 1 day off, so maybe that's your favorite.
The no internet day. Yeah.
I don't know. The no internet day can be kind of stressful. I feel like the chores around the house get overwhelming. I don't know. I think I like Mondays. They're very quiet. I really have realized that with streaming, I love having 2 days off in a row. Like I love having a normal feeling weekend. Like having just 1 day, I feel like is never enough to get the things done that you want to do.
Yeah,
I like 1 day for chores and then 1 day for everything else.
Because 1 day you wake up and I think part of that is you don't have a night. You're like, tomorrow is the thing again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So immediately, if you have 1 day where you're like, I don't do it today, and tomorrow's not the thing, then it's like that's a good day.
Yes, I feel very productive.
Mm.
And I don't want anyone to think that, like, now the amount that I stream, I actually don't find streaming hard. I really don't. But there is just, like, something to say about, like, oh, I have to get ready at this time to do this thing at this time. And it just, like, I wake up, I, like, work out, I eat, I work on YouTube, like, maybe a little bit, or just, like, talking streams and stuff. And then it's, like, time to get ready. And then I'm done, and then it's, like, time to make dinner and do the dishes, and then it's bedtime. It's, like, it still takes up a whole day, even if it's not, like, an all-day thing that you see.
Yep.
Interesting. So going back a little bit to just the new generation of streamers, do you think streaming in general has, I mean, I feel like statistically it's actually just growing and growing and growing, but I wonder if the RuneScape section of streaming is the same as like just like not like the Aiden Rosses of like, oh, streaming's getting bigger, but it's just like a bunch of
I'd say the piece of I might expect that the piece of the pie is shrinking. Comparatively, but the viewer counts and all this stuff seems pretty fine. Like I know it's fine over in YouTube land.
Is it just because it's so saturated? I will say there are so many streamers now because I mean I follow a bunch of people and I'll go down the list and it's like every day. I mean I have to click on the see more thing like 5 times sometimes. I'm like, Jesus, like everyone is just streaming now. So maybe that's just what it is. It's just like there's just so much division, like not in a bad way, but just the RuneScape category itself is divided up among so many streamers now.
I don't think the guys at the top are pulling any less than they ever did.
No, they end up growing. I feel like that kind of happens with streaming.
Definitely.
The streaming game is like if you're the top dog, you remain the top dog and you keep growing. And the other guys tend to just have to divide among themselves. Like, oh, there's more streamers. All right, here we'll give a little bit here, give a little bit here.
Yeah, it's so like bittersweet and humbling, especially when a new update comes out or something. Just knowing that like all of your viewers are going to be watching Bodhi and like nobody's going to be there.
That gave me so much anxiety anytime an update came out. The only time that worked in my favor was Fasani's Nightmare release.
Oh, wow.
Everyone knew me as the Nightmare guy, so I'm like, I'm going to go fucking hard. I planned out an 18-hour stream. And like I was pulling like a good 600, 700 at some point viewers. And I was like, dude, this has never happened. Whenever there's an update, I'm at like 20. Like I'm just like,
dude, I just gotta pray.
Wooks. Yeah.
I gotta pray for Bandos too, or corrupted gauntlet. Then people be like, oh my god, he did. There's that thing that he did it for a long time. Maybe he's doing that.
Forestry Part 2 is your day.
Yo, hey, I'll be there. I'll fucking be there. That video was so much fun to make. I will be making another one.
That's good. So
do you like making things like that are like out of your comfort zone? Like I just made a Dead Man Mode video. I'm going to post it this weekend and I'm like really excited about it. It's weird to do something different.
It's really refreshing to do something and like kind of change up the formula. I like that my Iron Maiden videos have similar beats to, like so it feels like an Iron Maiden video.
Yeah, yours like very much don't feel like you're missing out by not watching the rest of the series. It's just like a
Right.
continuous part of like one thought.
Right. And so I try to do that. But then you can go like when I made a Trailblazers series, which I will be doing for Trailblazers too, just because it was so much fun.
Mhm.
I think it's by far the best version of leagues.
Mhm.
Mostly because it actually limits you in a way, whereas the other leagues are just like, here's 5,000 other tasks to do while playing normal RuneScape. You're like, dude, that's like, oh my god. But going and editing a different series, I get to like kind of switch up the formula, change all the music tracks, change all my editing style, do a different kind of format, and see what happens. So I look forward to mixing it up for sure.
Yeah.
So how often do you live stream, Nine Rain?
Every other month, once,
Okay.
maybe. Going forward, I think what I like doing, and I've done it before, is I upload a video, I stream once, maybe twice, and then I disappear into the void, because then I get to do my YouTube thing in peace and let the story unfold, and I'm not double tapping content with stream and YouTube, and it gets to happen in its own little world. I get to make the story, write it, then finished product goes live, and then people who are excited about that story can show up to the live stream where I'm continuing the journey, and they get to come like hang out and talk to the YouTube guy, and then I disappear into the void again.
I
So
see. And that works. You like it?
yes, and so I've got a video coming out in at least, I think it'll be early next week, and then I'll be out of town for like the next 4 days, but then when I get back, I think I'll throw one, maybe two live streams. And I think that'll probably be the formula going forward. There might be an exception, like if there's another Pokescape event, like the one that Soften, and forgive me, I can't remember his name, the guy who programmed it. They made that like Pokescape plugin. I streamed for about a week and a half every day. Outside of something like that, it'll probably just be once, maybe twice a week or month.
Nice.
A week, yeah, right. Someone started
I was like, Jesus.
salivating, and then I really disappointed them immediately. The one guy who's like 9-Rain Dream, and then it gone immediately.
So I already regret I'm regretting asking this already because I'm probably not going, but are you guys both going to TwitchCon?
I'll
Wait,
be
you're
there.
not going?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Not this time. Just it's mainly just like
Are you scared?
No, it's not that.
Grow
It's
up.
mainly money.
No, he's scared.
Okay, that's fair.
He told me, okay, I'll Sae Bae, I'll go ahead and I know you mentioned to me before the cast that you didn't want me saying this.
What?
Because you were feeling so insecure and scared about going to TwitchCon. But I'll just air it out there for you, bro. We'll just lay it out there and you can explain it how you like, and we can probably, I don't know, we can deal with this in front of an audience as a way to like,
we
keep
can
you
talk
accountable.
through your feelings. It's okay.
Yeah.
I do that with too many casts.
On the real though, if you need a couch situation, let me know. We could help you go for very cheap.
Yeah, I'll see because it's not fully decided, but I'm pretty. Like the time keeps passing. I'm like, yeah, I haven't made any plans yet, so.
Fair enough.
I do want a Rune Fest really badly though, because
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
like Rune Fest, I'd be willing to. And this is another problem is like the money situation is mainly because I am not certain I'm even gonna stay in this apartment for next year. So like my lease is gonna end in January, and I'm like, like do I move somewhere else? Because I don't know. It's just like one of those things. Like I could still live in the city of Eugene, but like somewhere else, or just move.
Oh,
to a
you're in
different state.
Eugene?
Yeah.
I love Eugene.
Bree and I actually want to visit Eugene specifically. People keep telling us about how beautiful it is. We just took a
beautiful.
trip. We took a trip to Asheville, North Carolina last month. We were looking at so we're gonna end up staying in Texas because that's where our families are. but we were getting so tired of the 105 plus days for like 50 consecutive days.
Summer here was gorgeous. It was like mid 80s the whole summer.
Yeah, so we were getting a little demoralized. So we were like, all right, let's just fucking, what if we moved? And we kind of we're getting excited about it. And then we knew we probably weren't going to because we really like being close to family.
Well, if you ever wanted to visit, I mean, my apartment's small, but I could find room for you guys to stay over if you didn't want to get a hotel.
If we make a trip to Eugene, I will definitely let you know.
Okay, for sure.
And so anyways, long story short, we were planning trips to a couple different places that we thought we might like or that we'd either been before or not. Asheville was the first on the list, and we loved Asheville. Asheville is dope and beautiful, and man, it was great. And Eugene was like number 2 on the list.
Yeah,
so.
No, I mean, Eugene's just absolutely gorgeous. I was talking to Autumn Elegy on his second appearance on the cast, and he was even considering like moving to Oregon with his girlfriend. I was like, bro, you got to come to Eugene. People worry, like him especially. He was worrying about like, seasonal depression because in Oregon, like during the winter, it definitely is overcast like all the time, and it rains a lot.
Yeah,
but man, it's so gorgeous in the spring and summer and fall.
Dude,
even.
You guys should move to San Diego. It's perfect.
Yeah, but the weather there though, pretty damn nice.
Literally perfect.
I will say, I guess I should just go watch the Sae Bae cast then with Autumn Elegy.
I mean, I think he brought it up like after the cast. I think he mentioned it maybe, but it was more off air.
Oh, sure. I was just gonna say he was one of the first dudes I ever watched. Like when I was like, hey, RuneScape, I remember loving that game. I would play that again. I think I just found like Bodhi and Autumn Elegy.
What an aggressive intro.
And then like Mudkip maybe.
Isn't it weird that like, okay, at least for me, it's very weird because I've talked to Autumn Elegy now for, several hours, just privately or just like in the Sae Bae cast and then off air and stuff. And we've talked and I'm like, I used to not even be involved in RuneScape and I was watching your videos and you're just like a YouTuber to me. And then when we actually talk and you were like considering like coming to, Eugene, potentially just like hanging out, like it just feels so weird. Like it feels like we can't be friends because you were a YouTuber before I ever got into it. You know what I mean? Like it it's so strange when I think just subconsciously, not in a bad way, but like I don't humanize content creators the same way I do. Like it's just like you're a person.
Definitely
you're a real person
saying,
I can hang out with. Like that was the Tennessee meetup. I was like, it wasn't quite because I felt a little bit more like we're all on the kind of same level. But
I definitely dehumanize content creators.
Like imagine just hanging out with like SparkMac, for example. It's just like this is so weird. Like this feels like you're a celebrity in a sense, and I shouldn't be here.
Now that you're a content creator, don't you think it's like one of the lonelier jobs you can have?
It's very lonely. But the thing is like my previous jobs before I was a content creator was literally like a Target distribution center. I worked at Target. I worked at like a metal factory. I did summer sales one time, which is fine. Fair. But most of my job, I worked at Dollar Tree as well. Like I worked just like really shitty jobs where I didn't really interact with people either. So my job experience, generally speaking, is just kind of lonely already. It's like kind of just you do your thing, listen to music potentially.
That's fair.
So
I've always worked in customer service for the most part, or like serving.
Like in a call center or
no, like front desk places, things like that. And then I've been like a server and I worked in like catering and things like that. And those are all of the jobs where if you've worked any of them, like you and your coworkers are going to complain about everybody. And it's so fun. Like just having coworkers that you can consistently vent to about the absolute morons that you meet on a day-to-day basis. Like that to me is what a coworker should be,
That is nice.
That's
so
funny.
Streaming is kind of similar to that in a way. I feel like a lot of streamers will like get together and vent about like chatters and things like that. And YouTubers, can get together and vent about their analytics and stuff like that. So it's kind of weirdly similar.
The co and coworker actually just stands for complain.
Yeah, that's probably true.
These are my complain workers.
My brother-in-law and my sister live here in Eugene as well now. I actually just biked over there this morning just to have. They wanted to let me try their new matcha
Wow,
tea.
that is the
So
most
cute.
Oregon sounding statement I've ever heard in my life, bro.
A little early morning tea
Holy
party.
shit.
But
Was
like,
it good?
yeah, it was really good.
All right, tell me you make your own clothes too. Just lay it on me, bro.
No. But I went over there, and the cool thing is like, okay, so my sister and brother-in-law, like obviously my sister grew up Mormon and my brother-in-law grew up Mormon. They met at a Mormon college, and like they had a baby unexpectedly, and like, you know, and they both left the Mormon church. And so,
well, I just want to correct you really quick. I'm pretty sure a lot of people get pregnant unexpectedly. I'm not sure that having
not
the
in
baby
Mormon schools,
part.
not in Mormon schools.
No, I'm saying though, I'm not sure that having the baby part is the unexpected part. I'm pretty sure there's a pretty long build up to that. Yeah.
Now getting
that
pregnant
would be
unexpected, but
that would be way worse.
If
you're just like, holy shit, we are.
That's happened.
There's a
why
baby.
am I big?
There's a whole show called "I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant."
Oh my god.
That's a real thing.
Wait,
I did
what?
not know that.
I mean, some women just never show. Like they just, you know, like
What?
maybe they look a little bloated, but they never show. And then one day they're just in labor. This is real.
Wait. What is it called?
It's called "I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant."
Is it like one of those fake things where like it actually?
No, it's real.
Okay.
That
'Cause, like,
wait,
the-
wait,
My
wait.
my mom used to work with like pregnant women all the time, and you know, her job was like, you know, basically coaching pregnant women and like women that were going through, like women that were like, you know, going alcoholics or had drug problems that were also pregnant. So she dealt with a lot of people that did not know they were pregnant until like 8 months in.
Oh my God. Because
Yeah.
from all of the pregnant women that I've, you know, heard talk about pregnancy, you'd think the more likely show would be, there's not a moment in my life where I do not think about how pregnant I am right now.
That's fair. But to be fair, like a lot of women do, you know, I'll speak for women here, and I'll say a lot of women do deal with like chronic illness and pain and things like that. And
Yeah.
like if you're already in pain and you're already feeling sick, like it's probably not
I
that much
see.
different.
You mean like pre-pregnancy, like unrelated.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So they're just like, I guess this is the new me.
Yeah, I'm
And
feeling
then
a little more
surprise-
sick than normal, but nothing
Okay,
crazy.
I see.
And if you maybe struggle with IBS and you already have a bloated belly in the first place, you're probably like,
Exactly.
this probably isn't a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times where I probably looked at myself and was like, am I pregnant? Jesus Christ.
I feel like the male equivalent would be like if becoming pregnant made you feel discouraged and like nobody cared about you, you'd be like, well, today I just feel like that a little more. And so I didn't know I was pregnant. You're like,
yeah.
I get it.
Anyway, Sater, what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, like, but speaking of like the coworkers you can complain to, because both my sister, because my parents live here as well, and they're very Mormon still, but my sister and my brother-in-law also live here, and like they're completely out, and so we get to talk and complain and just reminisce on just stuff we dealt with that was, you know, quote unquote traumatizing, and just get to vent. And like literally having that venting is just, it's so therapeutic. It's like, I need to relate to somebody on this. And the same thing
wonder-
with streamers. Yeah, go for it.
I wonder if if RuneScape were real, if de-ironed accounts would bike over their other de-ironed friends.
Oh my God,
and then
that's
fucking
so
complain
true.
about how they like, oh my God, dude, when we were Iron Man, and they all chuckle and drink their matcha tea.
So fucking true. Yes, that's exactly.
Or sorry,
what it is.
Gothics Rest or whatever, you know.
I feel like more extreme would be actually, no, I take it back. That's probably the best analogy with RuneScape.
yeah. I did. The analogy is perfect, man. I don't think you can.
I don't know, but the thing is, like most people that de-ironed, well, besides like a cold one, I feel like he was very. I feel like I don't know. A cold one was very like out, or it just
Are you a de-ironer?
outspoken when it. Am I?
Yeah.
No. But
Okay.
I feel like most people that de-iron never talk about it. They're just like, oh, like I did it. It's not a big deal. But a cold one and
but I bet
others,
if they found another person who also de-ironed, they'd have a lot to say.
I don't think they would though.
No?
It depends. Lopsy and Big Tendies are his two former irons that I talk to frequently, and they have this ongoing bit where when anybody mentions them being an iron, they're like, I was never an iron. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Don't look it up. I was never an iron.
I see.
That's a good bit.
It depends.
It is funny how that kind of happens, like the social pressure. It was especially in the early days of Iron Man. I don't know if you guys remember, but people would name themselves like FE, or Iron, or just whatever the hell before their name, and then all of a sudden it became like socially unacceptable, or just like you were made fun of if you had Iron in your name or any sort of like DIY or whatever the hell. And then everyone was like, oh, yeah, like, let me just name change real privately, real quickly, because this is not cool anymore. And then people were like, never wanted to be acknowledged as the guy that had Iron in his name.
Well, I think Iron lost its novelty.
It 100% did.
Yeah.
Nobody cares anymore with collection log, especially.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Iron Man is like the new thing. So.
Oh my god.
Iron Main?
Don't get me started on Iron
I don't know
Man.
if you know, but it's basically a main account. But everything in the boss raids or Slayer collection log is off limits until I've earned it myself.
So Bronze Man?
Okay.
Isn't it just
It's
Bronze
a
Man?
little different than Bronze. Is
What's
it
the
different than Bronze
difference?
Man?
What's the difference?
In Bronze Man, you have to like unlock supplies and stuff too.
Yeah, I don't
So
have to do that.
I
don't
guess
have
So
everyone
to
it's
does
like
yeah.
easier than Bronze Man.
Well, yeah, but you could just go like loot or kill like a guy for a stam, and then you're like, oh,
That's true.
we
Yeah,
have
Bronze
stamina.
Man does involve PKing. You actually have to get it from the guy.
Yeah, I mean, technically, actually, in episode 1 of Iron Man, I made a joke about how I could do that, and it would count. So it is basically just Bronze Man. And in fact, I've said this before. I don't know on what cast where or whatever, but when I was starting, like making episode 1 of Iron Man, I was going to call it Bronze Man. Did the intro, recorded everything, had a title screen. It was called Bronze Man. The day before, like the video was on YouTube. I just didn't send it live, didn't have a thumbnail yet. The day before, Goody uploads his first Bronze Man video. And I was like, what the hell is this?
I feel like at that point you can come out with a Bronze Man, and people aren't gonna blame you for it because it was a day apart.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I see.
So I was like,
something different.
well, no, I just needed a different name so people could be like, actually be like, that is called that. So, anyways, so then I just changed the name and redid the intro. And
I have a question for you both.
Okay.
You know how it's a very popular thing on YouTube to like copy other people's ideas?
yeah,
Like to capitalize on trends and things like that?
yeah.
I don't have the confidence to do that because I just think I'm going to do it worse than other people. Do you feel like if you guys copy trends, it would work for you or against you? I feel like neither of you are really people that do that.
I really want to do my own thing, and I'm like blessed to be in a position where I don't feel like I ever did that and ever felt the need to do that, to like, oh, I should really do this because it's going to be popular. Mainly because it's like I won't organically have interest in doing that, and I don't really do YouTube for like money per se. It's like clearly I need to make money to survive, but I've always just been like, okay, I am going to actually hate YouTube if I do YouTube in a way that I'm actually not enjoying. Like I need to, enjoyment needs to come first. And I just, like you said, Zoe, like YouTube's it's not completely linear, but it's very linear, especially in the early stages. And it's like, as long as you're enjoying it, you have that comfort of like something's growing, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah. Flattered you said that, Zoe. Actually, I am that. I'm exactly that. One Kick Rick was a parody, like
I always
account.
forget about One Kick Rick.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that is I actually did it so badly. I mean, part of it was on purpose, but I didn't even you're supposed to make him an ultimate Iron Man. I made him a hardcore and like fucking forgot until I was already logged in and was like, well, we'll just record. And so like he's randomly, I guess I didn't have a bank because I was locked in a chicken pen, but it was supposed to be an area locked UIM like all the other area locked UIM at the time. And, but he was a hardcore, but then that ended up being the whole like coolest part of the account was Rick dying and then the rollback and then he came back. So I don't know. Like, believe me, I did it worse. But then, Iron Man was also a way of me saying, hey, I need to be able to have a series where I'm enjoying the process of making the videos. And I was like, well, I want to do all these things on my main. How do I tell a cool story? So it was kind of like the marriage of those two ideas.
Fair enough.
So,
Well, I have a completely off-topic question for both of you now. What do you guys think about Based After Dark season 2? Are you guys happy with the just not really? I mean, you can get guests if you want, but it's mainly just like you're just talking the shit. Have you been happy with that? Because I asked you
I'm
a
happy
few
with
weeks
it.
ago, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that like you started the Sae Bae cast to like be a podcast, right?
No,
Like you came in with well, you wanted to talk to people, right? Like that was your intention. Our intention was never that. Our intention was just like we were in Discord talking and people were like, "Hey, I want to join your Discord and talk to you." And we were like, "No." But you can hear it. So that's like why the podcast started because like we just wanted to talk and people were interested. So we were like, we might as well record it. And
no. I didn't even know this, Deep Lore. This is great.
That's the origin story. Is like, you know, everyone was like in Discord playing COD and stuff, and yeah, like viewers wanted to come, and we were like, that sounds stressful. We'd rather not. We're not that extroverted. So yeah, a podcast formed out of it, and I think down the way we kind of lost what we started as, which was just us talking about whatever the fuck and like being a little too open. Then I think people like hearing that. And yeah, we're just like interviewing is really hard. I'm not a good interviewer, and I think I could be a good interviewer, but having, you know, 5 other people on the podcast makes it really, really hard to like do it in an organized way.
Oh yeah.
And it got to the point where it started with us just like having our friends on, which I think makes sense. But then we started venturing out to other people that we didn't know as well. And it's really hard to like keep the vibe of us being good friends and like, you know, talking as if we're good friends and then introducing a new person that might not understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think that season 2 is much better. If you guys don't listen to the base podcast, it used to be, you know, us just chatting, and then it turned into us having guests on in a really, really long format, like 3-4 hours. And now it's just like an hour and a half of us just talking again about whatever topics we feel like talking about. I feel like it's gotten back to its roots. I really, it's a lot easier. It's very simply fun now. Like I don't dread it in the way that I used to.
Do you guys ever have disagreements on like, I don't know. I wonder sometimes like if you dwell on topics too long, if you kind of have this sort of like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that next time.
No,
like,
absolutely.
Do you guys ever discuss?
Prison Joe has a crippling fear that someone might accidentally mention RuneScape on the podcast. other than that, no.
Okay.
That's the only one.
Interesting. That's good.
Only kind of a joke.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about having that many people on a podcast is like we can all feel the vibes and the energy, and it's really easy to just cut somebody off and just change the subject.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of nice. We all like, you know, 5 energies. It's easier to tell when something is dwindling than when it's just, you know, 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a fan.
That's good. It's always exciting, and I know it's probably a little bit different because it's more of a group project. Like the podcast for you guys is, you know, it's multiple of you. It's not just like one person's controlling it. It's always just fun kind of making episodes though, and then just seeing over time, like you just take a step back and you're like, oh, like we've actually recorded like a lot of episodes. This is kind of cool. Like if anybody ever did want to binge, you know, this, like we just have so much content, just like endless.
We just did our, I think, 60-second, which is insane.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Yep.
That's fucking cool.
9rain wasn't there. His dog ate his homework. So
Hi,
you know.
hello.
How many Bankstandin episodes were there?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know.
We're like over 50.
No way.
Like 10 or 12, right?
Maybe
Okay.
20.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 24 episodes.
Oh, that's more than I thought.
Hey, we broke the 20 episode thing.
That's good.
That's like a podcast, you know, box to check. Yeah, we broke 20. Huh. Wow, it was me and Jimmy, then our first guest was Charborg, and then who's non-RuneScape, and then Soup, and then okay, and then Flutten, and then now they're married, and I take partial credit for that.
Aw.
Didn't you guys have Moist
There you
Critical
go.
on?
Jimmy had Moist Critical on like way pre me on Bankstandin when he was doing it with his buddy, like 2016, like way old.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
So there are more episodes, or are you just including 24 episodes of you and Jimmy, or
Of me and Jimmy
So
doing
there
the
were more,
recent
though.
Bankstandin. Yeah, but
but it wasn't
didn't
the
have
same.
anything to do with me. It was Jimmy
Yeah.
doing it with, I think, his buddy Hellwind, and maybe there was someone else involved. And it was quite different in many years in between.
I see.
And
I see.
yeah, and we asked, or I should say Jimmy asked his buddies that he used to do it with, hey, can we just take the name and because we like it? And they were like, yeah, we don't care. So same name, but was basically not the same thing.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, podcasting is definitely, it's so interesting that podcasting is just so massive. You wouldn't expect just audio only, generally
yeah.
speaking, things to just be such a huge media, but and it continues to explode. It's still growing, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just the ability to have someone going on about something while you, like, the amount of people right now that are listening to this that are probably like half checked out, not because it's, not
Everybody.
interesting, but that's because that's how people consume a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
Is to kind of have it on in the background. I don't know what I am interested in what the distribution would be of like people who are really interested in a podcast. And
So do you guys listen to podcasts that aren't, or maybe RuneScape related, maybe not? Like, do you? Like,
I only listen to podcasts about specific topics that I'm interested in, and when I'm listening to them, I'm really pretty focused on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm the same. Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
I'll almost never like. I don't have any podcast that I follow where I'll just watch all the episodes and they're on in the background and whatever. I might do that
Yeah,
with
me neither.
with like a progress series, and have that on in the background, and I'm half paying attention. But I don't do that with podcasts.
What about you, Zoe? You're pretty much the same.
So, well, the Sae Bae cast was the first cast that I listened to ever that was literally just people talking. Before that, I had only ever listened to like more, I don't know, sort of like presentational podcasts. Like I listened to a lot of educational things. I listened to a lot of NPR podcasts and Gimlet podcasts. And yeah, I like learning new things through podcasts. I didn't even know that it was a thing for people to just like get on and just talk to each other and have that be the entire podcast. So I really recently, I mean, I really do only listen to like the Sae Bae cast in terms of things like that. But I feel like I give it the same amount of attention. I'm always I actually like being in silence like 90% of the time. But if I'm going for a walk or something, I will just like listen to the Sae Bae cast, and I actually focus to like the entire thing. Like if I'm at all distracted, I just pause it and listen to the rest later.
God damn.
So I'm also, my brain can't do multiple things at the same time, which is why I like silence for the most part. So yeah,
I'm very silent prone too. Like I tend to just do things silently, and then I always regret. I'm like, man, with all that silence, I could have been like learning something or listening to an audiobook or something, but
your
I
brain
just
needs
can't.
to stop sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Zoe there. I think there's like a lot of there's been periods of time in my life where I just felt like off or like and taking steps away from media consumption,
Yeah.
whether it was social media or whatever, and limiting the input that I had into my life and trying to focus more on output. The amount of like peace of mind and mental clarity and my ability to sleep at night and all those things that are hard to measure, so they're hard to know if they're suffering. The amount of improvement I saw in those areas was like pretty crazy. So I wouldn't discount all the things that your brain and body are going through when you're just in silence.
Do you guys ever meditate?
I do, yeah.
Sometimes I'll say like I don't do meditative practices like a guided meditation. I've done that a lot in my life, but for me, that actually like produced the opposite result of what I was trying to achieve.
What do you mean?
I never felt more calm. I never felt like there was less going on in my head. It felt like I was trying to do something and trying really hard. And how would I put it? It would be as if like for me, trying to calm the thoughts in my head, negative feelings, or just, some of the chatter by doing a mental exercise felt like when you can't sleep and you're trying to sleep. That's like a losing game for me. The way that I actually meditate now, so to speak, if I need to process emotions or thoughts or something psychological or mental, is to do something physical, because that actually gets me out of my head for a while.
I see.
Yeah.
And I
That's
end
fair.
up pondering those thoughts and kind of chewing on them while I'm doing my thing. But it's usually physical exercise or cleaning or working in the yard. So that just is what works for me. I'm not disparaging any of those practices by any means, but they didn't work for me.
What about you, Zoe?
I think that's fair. I think I do like a combination of the two. I'm not yoga teacher certified, but I have like 100 and something hours out of my 200-hour certification. So I have actually practiced meditation quite a bit. And I think that when people hear the term like practice meditation, they think that you can just go in and just stop thinking and that's what meditation is. But it's genuinely really fucking hard. Like you really actually have to practice.
It is.
And
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are like techniques and things that you can use to make it easier. But I will say that I've probably meditated for like genuinely like 200 hours of my life. And I don't think that I got any benefit out of it until like 100 hours in, because like your brain is a very powerful thing, and turning off those thoughts, it's not something that just comes immediately, and it's not something that comes without practice. I think that people get very like frustrated by that and sort of like shy away from it and don't realize that there is like a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the actual practice of meditation. So I do meditate and I do like it. I don't do it as much as I used to anymore, but I do find it very valuable.
So,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
go for
think for me it'd probably be like I'm probably bad at it.
Yeah, no offense, you probably
everyone's-
are.
everyone's bad at it,
No,
but-
I can totally understand that, because like, if I tell someone, "Hey, I love physical exercise," the truth is I do now, and I'm good at it, and I have lots of tools that I use to mentally and physically that make it a much better experience than it used to be. But there have been huge parts of my life where I did not like physical exercise, where the first X amount of weeks or months back in the gym or whatever, or if I'm learning a new activity or rock climbing, or where it's actually not that fun. I would say rock climbing was always fun, but other than that, like some of the more like, hey, we're just gonna go move some weights around.
Yeah.
So I totally get it, that like, and you could go. So I will say I've done one yoga class it was like a yoga flow / meditation thing. And I have done yoga at home, maybe like watching a YouTube video or some program or whatever, maybe 30, 40 times. So not a small amount. Usually don't feel very good after. Feel like it's hard for me. Don't have a good time, whatever. I've been to one class in person where I went to the class, we're in a room, there's someone leading it. I just listened to what they were saying and did the thing, and I felt incredible after. So whatever the hell they're teaching, I don't get it because I'm stupid and new. But the difference was profound.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a really hard time like working out and turning off my brain at home because there's just so many distractions. There are so many things around you. And I used to work in yoga and I used to work in like group fitness and stuff. So I understand that the value of having like nothing to do other than to like listen to the person that's guiding you and trying your best because,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
stuck there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think that there is definitely value in like a lot. One of the things that you learn in yoga is like connecting your movement to your breath and like kind of like just focusing on your body and just absolutely nothing else, which is meditative in its own way. And I think that when it comes to fitness, like I think what you said before about how like when you start, it's not easy. It's kind of the exact same thing. When you start working out is the same as when you start meditating. It's like you know that this will make you better at the end. People tell you that this will improve your life and your body and your mind in some way. You don't necessarily see the benefits for a long time because you got to like keep working on it to see any improvement. But eventually you get to the point where you're like, "Oh, okay, this is working." But it does take I think meditation you don't like see the you really don't see any positive effects for a long time. In fact, I think you see more negative effects because you're like, why won't my brain shut the fuck up for like way longer than with physical activity? But it is like kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and it's also less tangible and harder to measure. So it's not like
So hard.
I did 10 push-ups today. Tomorrow I'll do 11 and
Yeah.
or whatever. It's
This
like
time you're like, I'll let 5 bad thoughts cross my
Yeah,
mind like
right.
they're clouds in the sky.
the clouds in the sky. No,
Yeah.
Zoe. That's my weakness is the clouds in the sky.
Sater, do you meditate?
I like started getting into it several months back, mainly because I don't know. I was just interested in. I don't know. I think just the stuff I was listening to was very centered on like our mind and like ourselves are not what we perceive them to be, like generally speaking. And like if you meditate enough, you'll understand that you actually don't have a self in a sense. Like not like you're not you, but there's not like a center of like, oh, this is me and I'm experiencing everything in my body. It's like, no, like you just are the accumulation of everything you feel and sense. And like, so the few times I've done it, and I'm not claiming to actually be anywhere close to, you know, near where I'd like to be when it comes to meditation, but I have noticed like there's been some times where I'm like, holy shit, like when you do it for like a good, you know, 10, 20 minutes, you could start really noticing like, holy shit, like I really am just the accumulation of all these senses. And this is like all it is. And it's like kind of liberating in a sense. And it's just kind of like you don't have to deal with all the stress and anxiety that you would normally be dealing with. Because like for me, if I'm not meditating, like if I haven't done anything for like a week or two, I am just constantly thinking of just negative things. Whether it be like one negative comment I see on one of my videos or something, like I'll just dwell on things. And as soon as I have like a moment where I just meditate for a little bit, I'm like, oh, like nothing's that deep. Like everything's going to pass. Everything that I think about, all my memories are all in the past. They're not affecting me right now. I can choose to have them affect me if I want to, but right now is the present moment. And like, this is all that actually matters. Like that's the liberating side of it, I think.
Yeah. I am somebody who very much like dwells on negative feelings and I'm like extremely, extremely hard on myself. And I think meditation has really helped me in that. And if I have one tip for anybody who's interested in starting to meditate or is curious about it, the thing that really changed it for me was very, very simple. Like I like to just lay down, especially if I'm having a terrible day, think of one thing that I'm like grateful for or one thing that makes me happy, and then just like try to marinate in that feeling. Like just force yourself to like think about it and smile for like 5 to 10 minutes and you just will feel better. Like that is just scientifically proven that if you're like smiling and just feeling good about something for a little bit, you will feel better. And it has helped me like drown out some of the negative thoughts.
That's so crazy. Like literally just smiling will just make you feel better.
Yeah.
But like who the hell wants to smile when you're pissed off?
That's fair. Well, I used to dance. Like I used to be a professional dancer, And like in a lot of the classes I took, a lot of the teachers would be like, "Why are you guys so angry? Like, just start smiling."
Yep.
So just like smiling while exercising in any way is one of the best things you can do for
Just
yourself.
angry,
So
angry
true.
dancing.
Well, because you're focused, you know,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
focused and you're just like
Oh,
thinking
for
about
sure.
improving and technique and all that stuff.
It's the same with
But if
singing.
you
I have to be
just-
better. I
Yeah.
have to be better. Every spin, you're like, more.
It's just the it's just the
whoa.
focus face. It's like the focus
Yeah.
of like, don't mess up, like think about the next thing. But as soon as you just, it was the same thing because I was in choir like my whole childhood, even up, and when
Why are you
you're
laughing at that?
singing,
No, because the only thing funnier than angry dancing would be angry.
that is
choir
every
singing.
choir. When you're learning a song or you're
There's
not
so
like,
much to think about.
you're just
Oh my
lost in
God.
it, and you're like, you look like a fucking possessed demon. You're just like,
Yeah.
so. And then as soon as you just
Oh.
lighten up and just smile and sing with a smile, it's so much better.
Oh my God, you're singing like "Ode to Joy" with this massive scowl on your face. The irony.
It's easy to do, especially if you're sight reading and you're singing in a different language. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
At least when I'm doing that as a drummer, people kind of are like, "Man, that kind of makes sense." Like he's hitting stuff.
Yeah.
But,
do it with
you
a
know.
smile next time. Drum happy.
Drum. That sounds like a good brand. Drum Happy.
Drum happy.
I bet that already exists.
Okay, I have to pee again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Ready, break.
I'll be right back.
How the fuck do people get 99 agility? This is crazy.
Dude, I've almost done 99 agility 3 times on this account.
I don't listen. If I was doing sepulcher the whole way, I get it. But getting to 91 or 92, whatever
Oh my
you need,
god,
is like,
yeah, getting to 99 was actually such a bitch. From
yeah.
because I was like level 86 or something, and I just remember looking at the
87 right now. It's like
yeah,
the longest
I remember
slog.
looking at the XP and I'm like, dude, I've
you talking about?
only done this for like
Agility.
a fourth of the time.
Oh
Like,
shit.
yeah, it's very depressing when it was like just rooftops.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing people with 99 agility capes. I'm like, Jesus, you're a masochist. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck?
I'm really
waiting to get to floor 5.
I'm really excited for the post Inferno Iron Man content where because I do want to do a lot of skilling stuff and a lot of the collection log things and mini games, and I like what's it called, Sepulcher. I really liked Sepulcher.
I'm proud of you for pronouncing that correctly.
Sepulcher?
Yeah,
I think I knew the word before it was a thing.
yeah,
on
me too.
RuneScape.
And so you always hear people say sepulcher or sepulcher is just like, oh my god, it's just like
Oh yeah, they do say it. Sepulcher.
it's
or
an ear
something.
sore. It's the
An
the
ear
the,
sore.
like the stress is on the first syllable. It's sepulcher, but most people had never heard the word before. So
I
yeah,
see.
sepulcher. I'm like, oh my god, you're hurting me, hurting my ears. Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about agility, like how just like rooftops, like it's with any skill. When I just remember maxing for the first time and just seeing skills below 90 and realizing I'm not even in the 90s yet. It's such a depressing feeling when you just want to get the 99 and you realize 92 is halfway and you're not even close to there. And you're like, God damn it.
This week I just got 90 to 97 herb lore as part of a video, and that herb lore is a piece of cake comparatively, because I've been banking herbs and stuff for forever, and so it was a 0 time just stand at the bank slapping potions together. But my lowest skill is agility, and it is 85, so that'll be cool one day.
Yeah.
There's something I've played a main account for too long. I think I don't, or not a main account, an iron, but like just playing one account for too long is what I meant. I played one account for too long to the point where I forget what it's like to
Get levels.
yeah, just like have a goal of like, oh, I gotta get this level for this upgrade. It's like, yeah, I kind of miss that.
That's like the most motivating part of the game, bro.
I know, but the
I'm
thing
excited
is
for your new series, Sater.
when yeah, no, I mean, I still have it in the back of my mind. I just worry that like I'm gonna do it and I'm actually not gonna enjoy the snowflake kind of lifestyle as much as I imagine. I gotta give it a try though. I just gotta go for it. So
Wait, what
play
is
like
this?
50 hours and see if you like it.
yeah, that's
What is this that you're trying to?
I've been ideating. Well, it's already an idea. It's already like pretty fully fledged out, but like it's a snowflake idea that nobody's done yet. It's pretty simple for the most part, but there is just some comical element to it that I think is kind of cute, and I think it'll be like kind of fun. And it's a way I want to play. It's kind of like a lazy way. It's just a simple way to play, and I feel like I can enjoy it. But I can see on the other end me getting bored with it because it's too simple.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see though.
You'll never know till you try.
Exactly. I got to do it. Yeah. So I think one of the things I'll really enjoy is just like that early leveling again, because I don't get that experience much.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is satisfying.
yeah. All right. Let's go to some of these Twitter topics I'm looking at.
Sweet.
Okay. Arcus asks, let's say OSRS dies tomorrow. What would be both of your plans? Would you stream/create content for another game? Question mark.
I mean, I would, first of all, I would do stuff for other games. Easy. I would keep making RuneScape content. In fact, that
But
would
it
be
dies.
dope. Dude, yeah, that would be even cooler. I'd just be wandering around this dead shell of a game that nobody plays. I'm the only guy. Everything I do is now interesting and new.
That's actually
Or
a
at
good
least
point. As
different.
long as the game is live, like it hasn't actually just been deleted.
Yeah, I mean, if they shut down servers, whatever. Like, I am making
Okay.
a video
What
that.
about shut down servers? What about that?
One video about servers shutting down, and then we move on.
To what?
I don't know. What
Private
would I
servers.
do? Private servers.
Most people. Yeah.
Honestly, if they shut that down, I don't. Private servers are so shit and stupid. I think maybe I would do. Might dabble in some Minecraft and Rust. I really enjoy those videos. Played the games before. I like the. Both of the games have a lot of potential for in-game proximity voice chat and kind of organic content, but also really good storytelling. Minecraft has a lot of goal setting that you can do like RuneScape, and a lot of progression you can show on screen. Rust has that, but also has really good storytelling, because every single Rust server, every wipe, every whatever is an underdog story, and everybody loves underdog stories. So,
All right. What about you, Zoe?
It's hard to say. I think it would depend where I was in my career. I love doing variety. I really, really do. But there is just a curse that happens when you're a RuneScape person playing variety, where nobody cares about it as much, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you quit
You're
RuneScape."
burnt, turbo
So
burnt.
I think if RuneScape died, it would be like a nice opportunity, because no one could say that. like I
true.
think people would, like, the people that watch RuneScape aren't just going to stop watching the people that they watch. So I would like to delve into some sort of variety things. I also like RS3. I don't think that game would survive longer than old school though.
oh no.
But I think
No.
I probably would get into another MMO, just because I like digging time into a game like that, like probably WoW or Guild Wars or something.
You know what? Actually, I would also get into WoW. I think
Yeah.
yeah.
I've
I think
never
there's
played
like
WoW.
there would be a pipeline of people funneling into another MMO for sure.
Yeah.
But I also think I'd go back to school. I've wanted to go back to school for a long time. It just feels like it would be more of a hindrance right now than anything else. But I think there's a world in which it would be the right place, right time sort of thing.
For what? What would you go back to school for?
So I have a BFA. So like it's nice that I have an arts degree, and I would like to go to school for game design, but like on the art side. So like an MFA in game design.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you do that even if RuneScape didn't shut down? Like, is that in your plans at all in the future?
Girl, I have no plans. I have no hope. I got this degree that doesn't do anything for me. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. There's been like multiple times in the past year, especially, where I've been looking for like jobs and other careers and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Like,
I know,
you know,
it's the worst when you. I swear, like the worst place to be in is not having like that super passion of like, I know I want to do this.
Well, the thing that sucks is, so I have a degree in musical theater, right? So my whole entire life, I have never ever had a career that was fair, that was consistent, that was reliable. I've never had that. It's always been like something based on luck, and I've never had like a salary or anything even close to that. So all of the things that I've wanted to be in my life are like actor, singer, dancer, guy, and then I really wanted to be a journalist for a long time. I really wanted to be a writer. And all of those things are the same as being a streamer or an actor, where it's just like, you just don't have that consistency.
That's the exciting life choice, though. But
you just
but like now that I've done it, I'm like, I
fuck.
feel like it would be just really nice to have like a salary.
That would be you've described the like penultimate conversation of like son goes to father, who's like, father, excuse me.
Yeah.
I would like to be an actor. Dad's like, no. You're like, singer. He's like, no. Songwriter? Nope. What about playwright? Like, it's just literally all the things that father would be like, are you sure about that?
Yeah. Which makes sense because I don't have a dad, so I never had someone to do that for me.
Yo, high five. Boom.
I had a dad, but I just was like, nah, fuck you. I'm just gonna go do my thing.
You know,
it's nice when you're succeeding, but when you're not succeeding, it's like very like, oh my God, like I would love to just be like a fucking like IT guy, like anything.
I don't know. There's something like personality wise as well, though, you have to consider, because even though you see other people that can have a great time doing that, like my brother just works, a 9-to-5 and he has a salary, but I also have a friend that does that and he's just miserable. He makes decent money, but he's just like, I'm trapped. Like, I feel like regardless of the route you go, there's always going to be like, man, I should have done this or I should have done this.
There's no perfect job. There really isn't.
Yeah. And I feel like personality wise, like for me, when I think of like just having a job where it's just, okay, I go and work 8 hours here. It's like, I mean, I've done it before for years, but whenever I'm doing that, I'm always thinking, oh, I should be doing something else that's my own thing.
Really?
That's
See,
how
I've
I
always liked having jobs. Like I always really liked working, especially stuff that isn't too like mentally stimulating or taxing, because I've always been a fucking hobby bitch. I love having hobbies. I love like making arts and crafts and like I love just like spending my time doing things that are fulfilling to me in that way. So I think if I had a job that like just genuinely like I was just there to like, get my tasks done and make money, I think I would still enjoy it. I mean, obviously it's one of those things that like when you're not doing it, it seems lovely, and then when you're doing it, it's, never as great as it seems. But I don't think there's any perfect job, but I think I would want to at least try that out if RuneScape died, for sure.
I want to get back into music creation a little bit, but I'm so intimidated by it. It's like being good at producing music, just creating something that sounds great. It just takes so much work. It's so much practice and just learning. Because for me, it's like I don't have music theory mastered, and like I would need to kind of go into the basics again and kind of just because that was my first major in college, but I just didn't take it as seriously. But I would like to get back into music stuff. It's just it's another path where it's like this is not secure at all whatsoever, but it's something I want to do. It's intimidating, just especially when you get older. You start getting older and you're like, oh God, like I'm kind of old now, and like learning a new skill is gonna be kind of harder.
Old now, bro.
You're not old.
Brother, there's some 50-year-old just heard this and was like, motherfucker, you come on.
Yeah.
And likely he or she is like halfway through their life, so they're not old.
But this goes back to what I said earlier about like it's really important to have one day to do nothing and then one day to like explore things like that. What kind of music do you want to make?
Just it would probably be electronic. I used to make beats in high school.
Okay, well, I also have been I have a vision for myself as like a DJ and producer that I really would like to explore. So if you ever want to like work on something or like play together, that would be really fun. I know Lopsy wants to. I know Uberu's been working on it too. I feel like maybe we need to kind of get that going.
And whenever I think at least like long term, like when I think of like a music, like if I were to get into music, it would be, I don't know, there's just something so powerful about music, especially in regards to like messaging. Like just, it's almost just like better writing in a sense. Like I would love to be a writer, but I just know I don't know if I could do it. But music and writing, it's just lyrics. It's like, it's not that complex. You write something that you feel, make it good, and then you add music to it, and it's just beautiful. And like, I've been captured by certain like artists and tracks. I'm like, that would be just so cool to be a producer of music that's so captivating. Like that just sounds amazing. So
yeah,
who knows? Yeah. Okay.
I will also be trying.
You know, you could just make a bad song.
I have made bad songs. I have
Garage
a
Bandit, like Garage Bandit, like make a real shit song by like one night, throw together a whole bunch of stuff and be like, well, you know, we did it.
I think it's also good to not take things too seriously. So I was thinking about maybe like going kind of Jimmy style and like making a song to use in a video that is RuneScape related vaguely, you know? Because then it's like weirdly lower pressure.
I am so down for the RuneScapers making music, like random thing to come back. Like there was that like 3 years ago or something. There was just like, it was like 3 months. Everybody dropped a track for no reason. Tedious even did it in not his first language. And I was like, all right, everybody is making music.
It's fun.
Okay. Let's see. Big Fudge asks, who can bang out the most push-ups right now?
Not me.
You know, I have video proof of me doing 100 push-ups in 2 settings, like in 2 sets.
Wow.
I was very impressed with myself. I knew I was on my stream, so I knew I had that pressure, like that extra, like I gotta fucking.
And that's a lot.
Yeah, I did 60 and then 40.
Damn, bro.
So
I guess Sae Bae then. I don't know, bro. Maybe let me show you a real push-up, dude. You can do like 10.
No, I mean, no. Trust me. Like this is the problem when it comes to push-ups. Is like if you're trying to hit a number, you're gonna cheat them. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna do the cheat ones where you don't fully touch the ground and you don't fully go up. And so the 60 I did were not 100% full, because 100% full, maybe I can do like 35.
Yeah, because I'm thinking
fresh. I'm not saying slow. I'm just saying where you're touching the ground. You're going at a moderate speed.
And that's a good
hitting the
number.
ground and you're hitting up. Yeah.
So someone out there is like, yeah, actually, I could do like 60.
Yeah, and I don't have my fucking arms like elbows spread out like an idiot. Like, no, they're perfect form.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Mr. 60, if you had me standing next to you saying, nope, that was a piece of shit push-up, do it again, you'd hit 32. So if you could hit 30, Sae Bae, that's a lot. I have no... I actually think, 9raid could... I do push-ups every day now. So, like, I know... And I don't wear myself out, but I do them every day as, like, just, like, a core exercise that I do. And so, I don't know. I've gotten pretty good at them where I can do quite a few. And if I'm fresh, if I take a couple days off and get back into it, I'm fucking fresh. I could bang some out. I don't know. I'll do it later today and get back to you.
Yeah. No, and the other thing is like a push-up. It's just like you said, like if you go a little bit slower, it just becomes infinitely harder. It's just like not harder, but just you can't do as many because you're taking so much more energy.
Yeah.
So, but there used to, when I went to college, there was like some frozen yogurt place, and they would give you a discount based on how many push-ups you'd do.
What?
So, if you did 30 push-ups, you get 30% off. What? So there, what you would do...
Did it cap out at 30?
No, you could do unlimited. You could go up to 100 and you get your yogurt for... It's just a frozen yogurt where it's like, it would be like Tuesdays or something. Just some fucking gimmick.
That's... Huh.
It was amazing. But you would go there, and this is actually when I worked out, like at like a gym and stuff. So I was like in decent shape. and you would just cheat those motherfuckers. You know, you would just like not like just go like super, super speedy fast where you've already done 20 in like 5 seconds, you know, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like just shoving yourself. And yeah, there was a time I think I got like 85. They were just the most cheat things ever. But you kind of feel bad when you're approaching 100. You kind of just want to pay at least a dollar, you know, for your frozen yogurt. So no, yeah, people would just go in there and, you know, you'd get people booing if you weren't going down far enough, but you just start yelling numbers out. And yeah, it was nice. That was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, speaking of little discounts, did you guys ever use the Taco Bell little spin thing where you get like a free bean burrito or a free cinnamon twist?
Yeah.
That little thing where you drop a quarter
I always
down.
wanted to. I wasn't allowed to eat fast food when that existed.
So
Good for you, by the way.
my twin and his buddies got so good at that quarter drop thing because apparently you can learn to kind of manipulate it. Like how that the ladies at Taco Bell told them they weren't allowed to do it anymore because they would walk in every day and just get a whole bunch of free shit.
Yep. No, that was my friend and I. We got. I'm not kidding when I say this, by the way. I know it's going to sound ridiculous. I was 90% success rate with quarters. Quarters were the only way to go about it because they're so heavy. Like you could do a dime, but if you drop a dime, it's like there's like a 50% chance just off the dime to just bounce. You know, it would just literally bounce because it's so light. With quarters, though, I was almost flawless. I would literally... Yeah, in high school, I was just fucking goated at that little quarter drop thing. But they don't really have those anymore. And I never go to Taco Bell anyway. I don't think I've been inside a Taco Bell for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're still there. You just don't go inside.
No, they're not there.
Who goes inside any fast... I'm trying to think of the last time I've been inside of a fast food joint.
I'm walking distance from a Taco Bell, and sometimes if it's a bad day and I can't cook, I'm like, all right, I'm walking to Taco Bell.
So you go in there and eat? Like you eat in there?
No, I take it home, but I'm not gonna like walk through the drive-thru.
I guess that's what I'm also thinking of is like sitting at inside a fast food restaurant and eating my food in there.
Yeah, no, that's weird for sure.
That's very strange nowadays. Okay. Yeah, sorry to just flex on both of you for that, but
no, it's okay. I don't like calisthenics, and I don't work out like that anymore. So I took myself out of the running instantly.
You used to work out pretty consistently. Like I've seen pictures, Zoe.
Oh yeah,
like, you were a fucking beast.
Yeah, so, and I really enjoyed it back then. Like especially when I was living in New York, like when you walk everywhere, you're just like naturally so much more active. And then I worked in fitness too, and then I danced in school. So I just was like around it so much more. But now it's like that initial inertia to get moving is just so much harder than it was back then. I still exercise, don't get me wrong, but for me it's more just for my brain than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. So what back in your prime, like what was your workout routine? Or so did you do calisthenics back then, or was it more like weightlifting?
Not really ever. I've always been like a walk everywhere and then lift weights and barely sweat kind of guy.
Okay.
But there was a point where I got into like HIIT training, which was nice, but then I was getting like shin splints all the time, and it just wasn't good with dancing as well because I needed to be like really flexible. But then yeah, so I've always kind of had the balance of I like to like sweat in a way that is fun, and then I like to lift weights like seriously.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good method too.
Yeah.
I've been
like when I was in Florida, I was taking Zumba like 3 times a week. That was the fucking best. Me and my mom would go and I would just do like Latin dance with these old ladies, and it was fucking sick. I was shaking my ass in the middle of a room with like 70-year-olds. Like that is what I love doing. So I'm trying to find something like that here, and I just haven't found it yet.
That's awesome.
So you're how old now, Zoe?
I'm 25.
Okay. So do you think like you're like just I don't know era of like trying to get like jacked is like over, or do you think like there is a time where like you would want to get really back into it, or you just don't care anymore?
I mean, I am getting back into it. I just think that I don't ever want to be really jacked because I think that when I was at my most like physically fit looking, I was at my mental worst. I am not somebody who now can really like think about food like that. I try to just eat intuitively and just like, eat when I'm hungry and try to eat a pretty balanced diet. But if I think about it too much, I will get obsessed with it and it won't be healthy. So I think I have a bit of a sweet spot now. I would like to work out more. Like I'm not very like happy with the way my health and fitness are right now. I would like to work out more, but I'll never be like that again because I fucking sit at my computer all day and I used to like never be home. I used to just be like when you live in New York and like your apartment is fucking forever away from everywhere that you are. It's like if you have 2 hours to kill between things that you're doing, I'm like, oh well, I might as well go to the gym now. But I don't have that anymore. And that's fine. But I think I will get back more into I want to start. I think I need to honestly spend money on it. I've just been working out at home and I'm so accustomed to like being in dance class and like being in fitness classes and things like that that I really thrive off of that like energy from other people to motivate me. So I think I'm gonna like spend some sort of money on some sort of organized something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just recently got a membership to Austin Bouldering Project, and it includes a whole bunch of yoga and fitness classes and then a full gym. So Bree and I have been going to go. I really like working out at home, and I'm happy to do that. But Bree really likes going to the gym, so we've been going to Gold's the past couple of months, which is nice. I'm doing a lot of barbell stuff again. Actually deadlifting a lot for the first time in a long time, and my deadlifts feel really good, which is rare because almost everybody has problems with deadlift. But so that's been really cool. I'm having a lot of fun with barbells, but the classes and stuff I have yet to do because we just signed up. But that's all part of the like we're climbing twice a week, so just as part of paying for that, I'm getting classes for free that I can just go to. Good. So I think I'll start doing some vinyasa flow, which don't really know what that means other than that it's at noon every day, and I should probably
That's the one
go.
where you know sun salutation?
I'm picturing.
That's like in yoga
like
when you like lift your hands up and then you touch your toes and then you go into a plank and then you go down and then you go into a cobra and then you go into downward dog. That's a sun salutation. So vinyasa flow is basically like you do sun salutations and then you do poses in between and you kind of like build on the sun salutation. So it's like kind of like very heavy, like flow focused. I think you'll enjoy it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hope so. So yeah, I'll be doing some class, and then there's some other like, I don't know, cardio or HIIT or I don't know what other classes there are, but I will be trying some classes soon.
My younger brother just went back to college this morning, so he's out of here. But he was here for a good 3 months, and daily we would go and play pickleball with a bunch of old people outside on the courts.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
It was and we would play singles, like initially get warmed up, and we would go hard because we were pretty similar skill level. And I'm gonna miss that. And it's also like the summer's over now, and it's just gonna start getting cold and wet. And I'm like, God damn it! Like I have to find some other like source of just continual daily thing, because it's like with anybody, and as soon as you start getting out of the habit of like a daily routine, it like for me especially, it just goes to nothing, and I need to be aware of that because I do it too often.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try going to jiu-jitsu soon. I feel like that's like exactly what I'm looking for.
I was thinking of doing that. Like I'm still considering it, but I'm so intimidated by it because I have never been a fighter. Like I've never even been in anything regarding fighting.
I did like karate in middle school, but I don't think you need, I don't think you need to. I think you just need to come in with like an open mind.
That's it. And I even watched like, there's actually a jiu-jitsu place like 2 blocks away from me, I think.
Dude, you're so lucky.
Go try it out. They almost always have like a first free class or something.
No, everything. Yeah, they're literally like your first like 2 or 3 are completely free, and they're like you don't need any experience or any fitness level. Just go there. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm still scared though because I don't like go there and like. I think really what it is just having a person on top of me, just like a stranger. and being like, what the fuck am I doing right now? I think the entire thing is just intimidation from the get-go. Is like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be on top of somebody that I've never met before, and I don't want anybody else on top of me, but I kind of have to just get over that first hurdle, and then it'll be fine.
You'll be fine once you're there.
Yeah. So I want to get into it though, because that would be like a truly useful skill.
Yeah.
And it would build up your confidence so much.
It's very fun too. And
Have you done it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And very mentally engaging. I stopped going to my gym a couple months ago, but we'll be going again soon. I just took a break because I was working out 4 days a week and climbing, and Bree and I were taking lots of trips and trying to meet each other's family. And so I was home. Like, I think I've been working like 30 hours a week for the past 3 months. And I am working all the time when I am home. So it was like I had to drop something. So I dropped jujitsu. But they have, it's a lot of fun. It is really fun. And the thing I liked about it was so mentally engaging because you're really focused on technique and form. And so time will slip by.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So yeah,
I think fun. Just having kind of like what Zoe was saying, working out at home versus being in an actual class, like that's energy filled and instructive, and like I feel like that could be just so much better for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say the one thing that I've really enjoyed about the last 6 or 7 months of my life is I've just been doing a lot of activities, like group activities and such. I go bouldering every Sunday. I go eat at the Sam restaurant after. We've got a group that we go with now. Jiu-jitsu was a good group activity. I run into people that I like. Austin's huge, but not that big. And so I still run into people that I met from one activity or another. And, you start building like a community and people you see every week. And that's been really, really fun having some, especially because my job is so self-motivated and, it's just me doing my thing at home.
For sure.
Having stuff in the week that I do every week that involves other people and the same people is really nice.
Yeah. Okay, here's a really interesting two different questions from Dr. Elo. If the both of you could be a little version of a sea creature, what sea creature would you choose? I go first. I choose octopus.
I like to be a little beluga whale.
This is a stupid question.
That's a good question.
Because I know Elo, and I know he wants me to say I'd be a little sharky guy, but I'm not.
Say it, Nine Rain.
I think no. I think it would suck to be a shark. I feel like you have glaring weaknesses and nobody likes you.
That's probably true.
Like you're basically a jock of the fish community.
That's true.
And not the like I exercise kind of jock, but like the everybody hates you and you have glaring weaknesses kind.
So what would you be?
Damn. I mean, octopus is pretty good because,
I will say seahorses, when we went to the aquarium.
Don't tell me you're considering seahorse.
No, I just think
you'd be a tiny version of a tiny creature.
Yeah.
You'd be like this minuscule.
Yeah.
You'd be a fucking plankton, bro.
Listen, I like little. The same thing with RuneScape. I like little pets. In fact, where the hell is my kraken?
Yeah,
there
but
it
the
is.
whole point of the question is you get to pick a big animal and then be a small version.
Yeah, no,
of
but
it.
octopus 100%. They're just so fascinating and so fucking cool. They look alien. Like that would be.
I would be. Now that I've had time to think about it, I would be a sperm whale, but a small one. You'd be like, well, because like I feel like Moby Dick. They got some cool street cred, but then
Moby Dick and sperm whales, like what?
Yeah,
what's
but
going
you'd
on
get to
here?
be you'd be the tiny version, and that's kind of cool.
Okay. Okay. Here's
So-
the second question: is if
Wait, real quick, before we move on.
Okay.
So did you say orca?
No, I said beluga whale.
Oh, beluga whale. I've changed my mind. I'd be an orca, obviously.
okay.
Why didn't I think of that?
I say.
Easy answer.
If a Factor mascot and a HelloFresh mascot were in a fight, who would win?
HelloFresh, easy.
Yeah, that's what I was
Are you
thinking.
kidding me? I think Factor would kick ass.
Nah, I think
No.
Factor would get its ass.
Bro,
I think-
Factor's
no, no, no,
lazy
no.
as fuck. What are you talking
No,
about?
I think Factor has
HelloFresh wants to
probably
grow and
some
improve.
problems with longevity, and like
Aren't
maybe
they owned by They're probably owned by the same
company.
goddamn
It is
They
the
are,
same
yeah.
company.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
I think Factor would probably kick its ass, but that's only because Factor's on some serious gear. And
I see what you're saying.
yeah, but then once the fight's over, he's gonna go home, think about his life choices. HelloFresh is gonna heal up, live a long, healthy life. Factor's kind of fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I think
Factor's
he
a little
wins the fight.
scrappier. I get it.
Yeah, but he wins the fight.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm glad we came to the right answer on that one. So,
Okay.
anyways, next question.
Emburius, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Emburius says, in relation to the base team, what were the reasons you both wanted to be part of the team? What are the future plans for the podcast? We'll also just say that me and my wife love watching the podcasts. Really good content and always a good laugh.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, I made the team. Me, and the origin story of Base is that myself and Prison Joe and Elisa kind of formed it together after we all hung out one day. I think we became aware that we were like this kind of new age of COVID streamers, and we were like, we should do something with that. Other people have stream teams, like we could help each other. And then yeah, we sort of talked about how the podcast started before, and I think we've already kind of talked about the future of the podcast and things like that. But yeah, that's my origin story. I made it.
Wow.
I joined because I wanted to hang out with T-Papa once a week.
Just a really good reason.
I know. That's why I did it. It was like,
Yeah.
obviously.
I feel like you joined because we were like already friends in real life, and then we
Yeah,
were like, "You want to come hang out?"
I really just like, yeah, no, it was as simple as I like hanging out with everybody on the cast.
Yeah.
Really nothing to do with career goals or big plans or anything. It was like, could I hang out with these people once a week? Absolutely. So
Yeah.
pretty simple answer for me. Mostly T-Papa, but I guess, some other
I think people get the misconception about Base that it's like, well, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about it, but I think one of the main ones is that we sort of like add people that we think would like help us career-wise, and that's just not the case. It's just like people we're already friends with and already interact with very naturally. Like, you can network by like trying to network, but I think everybody that's in Base is like, we were friends because we hung out and we liked each other and we do similar things.
Yeah.
So it's very casual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually never gotten this comment, but I've heard other members on the base kind of lament hearing this comment that people think it's exclusive. Well, and my first thought on that was like, first of all, any group is exclusive, or it's not a group, because then it's just everybody in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, it kind of, I mean, if you think about it, like a bunch of friends get together who are all going through the same thing and think, how can we do something cool and help each other out? And then they just start doing that. What it looks like, it might look exclusive from the outside, but what's really happening is people are just trying to like create cool things together.
Mm-hmm.
And, at certain points in your life, that means saying no to, other opportunities or other people, or, I don't know, you got to like draw lines around everything in your life, or it's not a thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways.
That kind of
Yeah, but
happens.
yeah, to go back to your question, it was really easy for me. I was just like, yeah, I would hang out with these people. So
Okay, Tansfang to Zoe asks, have you had trouble overcoming being a woman when approaching PVM?
Oh my God.
And to Nine Rain, are you really that type of guy?
no, it's all a facade.
Okay, Zoe.
Okay, it's not all a facade, but some of it.
You are the type of guy.
You are the
All
type.
right.
You're definitely the type of guy.
I fucking love Tansfang. You should have him on the podcast. He commented on my Grandmaster video, and I think he said something like, "Oh my God, first person ever to get the Zuckhelm with the woman debuff. Can't wait to see this." I think that is funny. I don't think that's a serious question.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Only
Yeah, I like the thought that maybe somewhere in the world, Tansfank's sitting there thinking like, God, it must just be so hard to be a woman and be so stupid and bad. And then he's being totally sincere in all of his questions. Like,
my
dude,
God.
how did she do it? And then Zoe's
He
just
does
like,
comment
"Oh, you're so
misogynistic stuff
silly."
on my posts all the time. So, you know.
We can't fully confirm
the
that this-
plot line where he's actually just being really sincere and Zoe's never answering his questions or taking them seriously.
I like that
He's like-
universe.
Yeah, me too.
Only Trails says one of the best parts of Iron Main is when the 9 Rain says the intro 40 minutes into the video. Not a question, just a statement.
That's a fun bit that evolved out of app just forgetting to put it in the video and then thinking, holy shit, there's some people that probably think, what the hell is this main account doing? He's an idiot. And then I liked it. I was like, wait a minute, the intro at the end, that's kind of funny. And so, yeah, I think
like it.
I think it's going to happen in this next one too. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Zoe,
Okay.
did I ever I have a clip of you doing an Iron Man intro for me. Do you know if I ever used that? Do you remember?
I think you did use it. I remember.
Okay. And then you're like, no, that's a bad idea. I would never do something like that.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite throws. Love
It's
it.
always good. I feel like so many people have a clip of me from my stream in their video of me just like somehow making fun of their account.
Their intro, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's weird is people have thought that the Sae Bae cast intro with Tasty talking is me. Like
What?
they've been yeah, people are like, why do you sound so weird in the intro? I'm like, that's not me. I don't say that, but
Not
like,
me, yeah.
yeah. And then there's people
Damn,
that
YouTube voice to the extreme.
Yeah.
there's people that unironically are like,
Like,
they're like, oh my god, they actually don't think it's Tasty talking, but they are like, that really sounds like Tasty in the intro, but like
That's
unironically, like
Huh,
they're
but
not
they're-
kidding.
they're like, damn, Sae Bae used YouTube voice so hard he sounds like a prick. That's weird.
I will say though, I think very soon I'm going to change not only the intro but how I introduce casts. It's gonna be very sacrilegious, but I kind of got to do it. I got to get rid of the all right, welcome. I think we're just gonna get right into it, but I've not fully decided before people freak out.
Interesting. I like that idea.
Yeah.
No laugh at their
There-
calling Tasty a prick thing. That's just gonna. All right.
This is based off of actually YouTube analytics themselves. Is like, people don't want a 20-second intro. Generally, they want to click on a YouTube video and they want the content, boom, right there, into it now. And that's, I mean, even as a YouTube consumer, that's what I want. I want to click on a video and just like, shut up, just get into it already. Like, god damn it.
Well, it depends on what your intro is. If your intro is like, this is like Cartoon Network that I play before every episode, you're like, everyone will skip that.
Yeah.
If it's like a pitch for a video or explaining what they're about to watch and it's relevant to the story, then
Yeah, but I mean, for the Sae Bae cast, it's literally just the same.
Right.
Everyone's seen it. It's just fucking thumbnail for 20 seconds. Like, we get it.
I would make it
on.
really short.
Yeah.
I would make it really.
I'm not
really
even.
short.
I don't even think I'm gonna. I think what I'm gonna do. Okay, so some podcasters. I'm talking about Lex Friedman because I listen to his. He will have a very
Some podcasters who.
no.
will
I mean,
not
but
be
a lot of
mentioned
podcasters do this. But I'm singling out Lex just because he does this. Like, you click on the video and it's instantly in the middle of the conversation where something interesting is happening, and it goes on for like 30 seconds. And it gives you a good gist of what they're going to sort of talk about or an interesting point. And then the intro happens. And then you get into it, but very
I'd say
quickly.
still keep the intro like 3 seconds. Just to be like, bam, 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 Sae Bae, and then it's just like hearing it.
You should have a jingle.
I just recorded that one, actually. That one's it. 9 Rain. Well done.
Well, okay.
Nine Rain, this is a side note, but I have to tell you that you were one of the first people that I ever like conversed with seriously about YouTube stuff. And after we spoke, I don't think I ever looked at my YouTube intros as anything other than the shortest pitch possible. Literally as few words as possible to get the point across.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I mean, that is what YouTube is designed for, or at least what it's become. And you really got to capture someone in the first 20 seconds. And if you do a good job of that, they will stick around and watch the damn thing, even if you're fumbling through it. So it's really worth putting in the effort on this platform and likely many others to sell it well immediately. So, hell yeah, Zoe.
Agreed.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. I guess we can cover this one. So, Womanity, this seems to be a very common question when it comes to
So
content
before we
creators.
get to it, fuck you, Womanity,
Yeah.
for barely making the cut.
Go fuck yourself now.
I guess we'll get to this one.
No, it seems like a very common thing, and we've probably already I've probably already asked it to both of you.
God, it's such a bad question, but I guess we'll do it.
You know what? Fuck you, Womanity. We're not rating it. I'm not rating
Wait,
it.
no. We have to now, dude. Now I'm so curious.
To both. What are your biggest pros, cons of YouTube content versus live streaming? And then this is the main one. If you could only do one, which would you choose?
YouTube. That's
What about you,
easy
Zoe?
for me.
I would also do YouTube, actually.
It's really easy for me.
Why? I'm you. Well, yeah, because you stream once every 2 months.
Well, but I do that because of what I like. Like I do what I like.
No, so it makes sense. But for Zoe, I'm kind of surprised. So, what are the reasons for that?
I'm going to say this as like straightforward and honestly as possible, and no one can get mad at me, okay?
I'm already mad.
No, don't be mad. I think okay, when it comes to YouTube, you create a product and you put it forward and you're like, wow, this is a product that I like and I worked on and I'm proud of it. Most of the successful streamers I know think of themselves as the product and think, wow, I'm awesome and I'm going to put myself out there because people like me more than they like other people. I don't think that about myself. I like streaming because I like my community, but I don't want my stream to grow too much. And I don't think that I mentally have what it takes to have my stream grow too much. Whereas with YouTube, I think I could, like there's a universe in which I could see myself putting out videos that get a bunch of views and I'm like, oh, I'm proud of this. This is something good that I worked on. Whereas with stream, it's like, I don't have that in me that a lot of other people do. And I really envy other people that have that. I really do. I just don't have it for myself. I don't think I'm the type of person that's made to do that. I'm not somebody who I don't ask for gifted subs, and I watch other people do it and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. They deserve it. But I'm like, I can't do that. And I'm like, I don't think that thousands of people want to watch me just being myself. I don't have that in me. And I envy that other people have it, but it's just, yeah, I think that my brain is way better suited for YouTube, even though it's not the thing I do the most frequently.
Yeah.
I never thought about it in those terms, but that's actually because I get, the kind of attitude that makes you think about someone like, wow, they're really narcissistic or egocentric, or they think pretty highly of themselves or whatever. I feel that way about my videos.
Good, as you should.
If I make something, I really work on it, I'm like, I fucking love this. This is great. Everybody should watch this.
Yeah.
And you're right. There are some people who think that about themselves.
Yeah. And I really don't mean that in a negative way, but you do need a sort of ego to stream, and you need to think that there's a reason that thousands of people want to watch you more than they want to watch anybody else. Unless, obviously there are exceptions. I'm not saying that with everybody, but in this day and age with how saturated it is, you do kind of need that confidence and that mindset to do it.
Right. And I think there's a lot of examples of people who have taken their own personality and really cranked it on screen in a way that really worked. Dr. Disrespect, Oda Block, Tyler One, all people who come to mind for me as they probably part of them is like their character on screen,
Yeah.
but they're really putting it on as like a character when they do the thing. Obviously, Dr. Disrespect even like dresses up and changes his name and all that stuff. But
also just practically, those people have so much energy every day.
Yeah.
right.
I feel that way sometimes, but I definitely don't feel that way every
Like,
day.
if I'm fucked up on something, maybe.
That's exactly what I'm going back to. Is like, yeah, if you're on drugs every day, you probably pull off a
Yeah, I don't
total
know.
persona.
Yeah, and I can understand in the case of Odablock and Tyler 1, where they kind of are like they remind me in some, when I watch them sometimes, I'm like, that's if a Chihuahua had a wish to become a human being. Because they're just like, you know, like constantly going. I don't understand that with Dr. Disrespect, though, because that brother's like 6'8". You'd think it would just the amount of fuel to keep his arms attached to his legs would be enough, but I don't know. He's pretty high energy. So,
Yeah,
don't
I
know
mean,
what it
there's also something about like having a big audience that keeps the ball rolling in a sense. Like,
oh, for sure.
if you were to just see your audience grow, and then you're just actually at, you know, tens of thousands of viewers or whatever, it's almost like you just start a stream and it's just boom, like, let's go. Like, you're already pulling numbers. Instead of the kind of slow ball where it's like, okay, we got a few people trickling in. Like,
and it is so much easier to stream in some sense to stream for a couple hundred people than it is to stream to like 15.
when you're and when you're streaming to, you know, 1,000+ people, you are not enslaved to the comments that you get. Because the other problem that I feel, this is not based on anything other than my own personal take on it, but it seems as though when you have a smaller community, just maybe 100, 200 people, it's like you kind of feel obligated to read every goddamn thing that comes into your chat. And if you don't, you're like, why didn't you read
just
my
sitting
shit?
there.
It's like, so you read just like, okay, some guy just spewed out something that just is going to actually just kill the vibe of the stream right now. If I don't say it, everyone's going to be looking at it, waiting for me to say, you know, repeat it, or just, there's a real good benefit of moving past that stage as quickly as possible and not having to read like anything, only the good stuff. Like, you can only read, and now the chatters are the energy. It's not you that has to produce all the energy. It's the chatters, and then you just live off of what the chatters are saying. You make jokes about all the good stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. It's two different like universes, kind of like once you hit a certain stage where you don't have to just read every goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just like, that's what was burning me out.
That just sounds like.
I remember, Stater. I remember there was a time where you were getting like so bullied on stream. I know, like I was watching.
There's been a few times where, yes, like you're getting harassed on stream, but there's also times where you already don't have the energy, and then somebody just
tells you like their dog died and their
Yeah,
their girlfriend broke up with them, and you're like,
something
I
like
want to
that,
help
like-
you so bad, but oh my god, I'm already so depressed.
yeah, or even just like you're building up a little bit of energy, and then somebody's like, oh man, like it's like one of your mods or something comes in and just, yeah, like, man, like today sucked. I'm like I have to address it because you're a friend and a mod, and now it's like we're a community, and this isn't about entertainment anymore. It's about we're a family, and we gotta.
I don't
there's
know.
like a good
I
thing
gotta-
to both of it, but like you kind of at some points you just want to be an entertaining person on stream and just have a good time playing the video game. But then it ends up being like, we got to talk about everybody's individual comments and kind of dwell on it for a little bit. It's like, oh my god.
Now we got to talk about Steven's fucking problem.
And I always sound insensitive when I say that, but I'm just envious of the fact that some people, and like, I'll just throw like It's Will in there. Like, It's Will can go live. Everyone's there for entertainment. Nobody's there to say their own thing generally. It's all about like just keeping the fun, keeping the comedy going the whole time. And it's just like, I don't know. He's built it, and you got to give him credit.
I was going to say my thought about that is I think you get I think you get out of it whatever you put into it. And I think Will put in a lot of effort.
Oh yeah, and he probably had
making it like that.
He probably had a vision for it too. So on my end, like I've had certain breaks of streaming where like I kind of almost want to rebrand, sort of like just being like, I need to take a break. I need to take a breather and reestablish kind of how I want to stream. Because if something's not working or something doesn't feel right or I'm super anxious on stream, something's got to get fixed or else this isn't going to, it's not going to fix itself. So yeah, if I were to have had like a better vision just personally of like, okay, I want this to be just entertainment, or I want this to be like super high energy focus and not have to read every single thing, if I would have built my stream off of that. But if I just instantly try to change how I stream, it's going to look weird. You kind of have to do a transition phase of like, I don't know. I overthink streaming too much.
My thought on well, first of all, I don't think you have to feel bad about. I remember getting really mad about. There was one time this was a long time ago, 2-3 years. Someone came in and did hey man, my blah blah blah. These are my problems, and I just got really mad and banned them. And I honestly, in hindsight, think that was the right move. Because, like, how dare you fucking go into someone else's thing and make it about you?
Yeah,
that's like I get it. It's if it was a personal friend, like my buddy Bradley, or someone.
But it's like, come on, like I'm trying. This is my job at this point.
Like someone who was a friend would not come in and do that to your live stream.
Yeah, it's so hard because you don't want to be an insensitive prick, and some of the time. That is the mood, potentially. Like, maybe that is the mood, and that would be appropriate. But it's just one of those things where this is kind of what you signed up for, live streaming, and you decide what you're going to handle. Like, you decide what you want the energy to be. And as soon as you start giving that a little bit more, where you've decided I'm going to read every single comment, then you're kind of stuck into that. And then as soon as you don't, people expect it, and you kind of have to, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
hard to set your boundaries.
It's so tough. It's so tough.
Yeah, forgive me. I just saw this comment that in the Discord that y'all had a little convo before I showed up. This is such a 9rain moment when he doesn't show up for the pod. I usually call him on his phone.
I miss calling you on your phone when you don't show up.
I know. Wait, I remember there was like, I think 1 month of our lives, Zoe, where we actually texted each other.
We talked on the phone like
human beings
once every other week. Yeah.
I just remember, it was like kind of funny because I was like, "Hey, this is Zoe Pancakes."
You're Aaron 9rainingtons in my phone.
Yeah, you were actually Pancakes' last name in my phone. Oh man, I don't know. I just saw that comment. That was funny because
I thought you had taken another edible. So
no, I haven't done that since the last time.
It's probably.
It's probably.
It's for the best. Yeah.
It's for the best.
Well, okay. I accidentally misspoke. I have once since, but like we're talking like a quarter as much. Didn't really feel it. Much better experience. It was almost like nothing. Like I'm not even sure it was enough to feel something, which was great. The first time, it kind of just felt like I lost the evening. Like I was just gone. That was,
Okay, there's a few comments here on this Twitter thread asking, why horse girl? Zoe?
Because I love ketamine. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Sorry. It's just a name that I've had. What?
Nothing. Just.
It's just a name that I've just had forever. I was kind of a horse girl growing up. My neighbors had horses, and it's just a name that has just always been a thing for me. And then when the MySpace era happened, it was Horse Girl 666, and it's just kind of
really,
yeah, it's just kind of stuck.
Shit, I love that.
It's kind of a heater name, to be honest.
Horse Girl 666.
That's so good.
Deadly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love the thought of little Zoe Pancakes, like walking to school, passing the horses on her way to third grade, and one of them goes, "Prrr," and she gets a bad feeling, and she goes to school and tells her teacher, and like she's right or something, like.
Yeah, I don't think horses are Satan. I just, it's just I was just being edgy, and now
Horse
it's just kind of
girls
funny.
are Satan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, which also, I'm not sure why. Who asked this question?
There's multiple people.
I'm not sure why they feel the need to ask that question, because that's like kind of implicit in that question is like they just don't understand.
I feel like why Rakes is the better question, but
Yeah, because if it was like badass guy 666, no one would be like, hey, why badass guy? You'd be like, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Why
I'm a
Rakes?
badass
I
guy.
think I asked you that though, but it was just for no reason in particular.
I don't
Also, an
remember.
impressive account name. Really
Thank
like
you.
that.
Okay, so the origin story of Rakes. I probably told this on the last cast, but that was so
Yeah.
long ago. So I obviously played RuneScape in elementary school, and then I stopped for like all of middle and high school. And then senior year of high school, I was dating this guy, and I came over to his house for like one of the first times, and he was AFK fishing on his computer. And I was like, oh my God, RuneScape. Like I used to play that. And then he told me about old school, and that's how I got back into it. And he was just really obsessed with like OG names. So we spent like 2 hours just typing in every short lettered item on RuneScape until we found a name that was available. Rakes was just available.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I actually thought that when I saw the name, my first thought was like, she must have just gotten the name and thought, damn, I got Rakes. So
No,
I'm actually pleased to learn that that was kind of the process.
yeah, it is kind of the process. It kind of worked out because then I made like farming my first 99, and yeah, I don't know. It kind of makes sense.
I feel like we have a kinship in that because I loved farming and still
Yeah.
I have 14.5 million. I'm not going for the pet. I just enjoy doing
I
urban
love
tree
farm
runs.
runs.
I really like it.
I only have like 20. I have what 22 mil now because I got the pet and I just stopped. But yeah, Rakes is kind of nice and ironic now because I've been doing like no prep chambers, and every time I get to the end, I'm like,
Oh.
fuck, I might need another brew or two. And then the thought of like going to Rake is just the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, that no prep chambies. Wow.
Yeah, I've been having fun on the video game, to be honest.
Damn, you're kind of badass with it. I'm still just oh my god, I got a 636 at CG the other day.
Holy.
I've been trying to get the
Wait, isn't
speed run.
630 is Grandmaster, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, rip.
And yeah, but I'm feeling good about it. And I've had a couple runs where I didn't quite get the 630, and I certainly deserved it, and just was hitting like dog.
That's the way it goes. That is the way it goes.
And so like I feel good about the fact that if I just keep having runs like that, I could totally get the 630. Which that's actually been pretty difficult for me. Learning how to redemption proc properly while juggling all the other stuff, not easy.
Yeah, it's hard. You got to get your redemptions off in the beginning. That's what I've learned.
Yep.
And
You
then
really
use the
got to
food at the
try and
end.
Yeah,
that does
definitely the way.
simplify it. When you keep getting like cheated on the redemption proc and it's just not hitting and like it
And then the tornadoes go, and then you start
Yeah.
getting railed.
And then you're like,
like-
oh fuck, I'll eat a food. Like,
it hits you to 11 and then the
Eat 3
tornadoes come
food,
out
just,
and you're
I'm
like,
not fucking
Yeah.
risking this. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Well,
I was always a very good safer during my initial CG grind. I never understood why people would just drop down to like they're not doing redemption, but they would go down to like 15
right.
HP. I'm like,
right,
bruh,
like why chance it? If you- if you-
just eat. Like you're gonna waste the ticks eventually. Like just fucking
Right.
eat to full all the time. Like
Yeah, if you're not trying to speed run and get at, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Because if you die once, the 5
It's
ticks
so
you saved is like, bro, how many ticks are in 10 minutes, dude?
I
Like-
can't help myself when I'm in Gauntlet. If my HP is above 13, I'm like, I'm good. I'm just
see
I'm chilling.
that is not me. Mainly because I get pissed.
That's fair.
It's not like I get pissed. I just want to log off. Like I'm just
Yeah.
like I died. It's over. This grind is over. I'm done. Like no.
Yeah, well, I died maybe, I think like 20 deaths, 25 before I felt really good at CG. And then maybe it was a little more than that, but it was not very many. And then I like almost never died again, unless I like got a phone call or was doing something stupid. And it was just because I'm just safe, and so I never lost the 10 minutes. And so until I hit about 800 KC and got real reclined and bored, and then that was frustrating, like because it was such autopilot that I would just make stupid mistakes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're in autopilot again. You die twice, and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's like, oh well, there goes 20 minutes.
And
Guess
then-
I'll go fuck myself.
And then what's even worse is like streaming it, like streaming oh my God. I remember when I was doing.
I can guarantee you, dying alone in your room trying to get YouTube KC is worst than doing it on stream, because at least
okay.
on stream
No,
it's
no,
bro.
because people on stream are like, oh, no, so sad. And then the worst ever is when people are like, oh, I looked away for a second. What happened? I fucking died. What do you mean? What happened?
Yeah,
like, what do you
yeah,
think
but-
happened? My
yeah,
HP
but
hit 0. The fuck?
If I
little
die
bitch.
if I die alone in my room and the KC number goes up, 0. That's how much progress I just made.
Dude,
That's fair.
But if
dude.
you die on stream, 7 minutes of content.
there was a
fair.
day when I was grinding normal solo nightmare where I died 3 times in a row. And it's so much worse this is like pre-Fasani's. Like this is like when you would have to run 3 minutes there. You literally have to pre-pot a stam to like run over there. And then you go into nightmare, you spend 15 minutes, you die. You have to run back to reclaim your stuff, go back to the bank, run back again, do the same 50 minutes, die again, do the same fucking thing 3 times. I had literally, I had been live for like an hour and 20 minutes and nothing had happened yet. Like I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually going to pull my hair out right now. Like it's just fucking.
Yeah. Solo nightmare is not easy.
Yeah,
Dude.
what you didn't know was that that day the story was you're getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, no, there's just some of those times on stream, and then you just see the people exo tabbing, and just like you just want to fucking scream at them,
Yes.
but
What is-
you can't do anything. You're just like,
The Exorcist giggle.
yeah, fucking
What?
A.
The whatever. The little
Exo
green giggle.
6RT giggle.
I'll type it
whatever
in our chat.
Okay.
Yeah, show him.
Oh, jeez.
That one.
Christ.
You not
People just
seen
type
that?
whenever you fuck
No,
up.
no, I just didn't
Whenever-
know that that's what you call
Yeah,
that.
whenever
Like,
anybody
that'd
dies,
just
they
be
just call it
like
exo
donkey
tab.
face to me. I don't know.
It's just exo tab. That's
Looks
what I
like
call
a donkey fucked a frog. Holy shit.
it. Jesus fuck, dude.
Look at it, dude. Give it some ears.
He's
That's
not
a mule.
wrong. He's not wrong.
I know, but why'd you have to say it? Like we're all like, come
Literally,
on.
give it some ears, color it brown. It's a mule. That's not a frog.
Oh my God.
So, anyways.
Yeah, but there's times on stream where you just like, why did I go live today?
Yeah, I've been having that, like, I don't know, it's hard. I'm like really enjoying going for Grandmaster, but I'm not the most consistent player, and there are some days where I'm just not good at the game. And then you just like, oh, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like when all your goals are focused on like improving skill-wise,
Yeah.
and you just aren't in the mindset to do that, So I've been going for max, which is nice. So now whenever I cannot PVM, I'm just skilling. I enjoy it.
That's cool. There's something really therapeutic about just like grinding for max, I think. Just
Oh yeah.
doing some long-term goals and just chilling
Yeah,
out.
and it's nice because you can do like Guardians of the Rift and stuff with stream. Like you can make it more,
That's
interactive.
Guardian to the Rift. I the second I get an BOFA, I'm going straight to Inferno. The second I finish Inferno, it's Guardians of the Rift, the Giants Foundry, and Sepulchre, and I will be such a happy little gamer just doing those 3 things for a long time.
Theater, anytime someone mentions Giants Foundry now, I cannot think of it as
Oh,
anything other
yeah.
than like a baby color matching game.
Dude,
What?
I hate Giants Foundry.
I hate it too, and I
Really?
didn't know why I hated it, but Sater explained it as like it's just like you're just like matching the colors with the lines. It's like a game for toddlers, and that is so true.
Okay, but you could break that. You want to know how many things you could break down? Everything's just colors and shapes.
No, there's rhythm too.
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
rhythm in Giants Foundry.
Giants Foundry is like breaking the rhythm.
Giants
that's-
Foundry
that's
is
fair.
just like, okay, there's like specific things that Giants Foundry could do to just, you could even keep it Giants Foundry pretty similar, but one is like there should be some upgrades. Like, you know how you get those Giants Foundry points or whatever the hell they're called? Just
Giants Foundry points.
yeah, like one of the upgrades.
Reputation.
One of the upgrades that would be so nice is, I know it wouldn't fit thematically or whatever, but just have an upgrade at a super high price that gets rid of the bar dropping just on its own. So then you can.
Bar
Isn't
dropping
that
is
half
the
of the?
worst.
Wait, the main. The
No,
Sorry,
like naturally
like
dropping.
naturally dropping, like just slowly dropping. Like if
Right.
there was an unlock to make it so it doesn't do that.
Right, but maybe the only skill expression in Giants Foundry is being able to accurately, like, gamble on whether or not you can. Well, it's not a gamble if you're doing it correctly, but accurately determine whether or not you can skip
You do it long enough and it's fine or whatever, you know. And if there's a plugin, that would be even nicer. Just says how many more ticks you have. Like, there's probably plugins that already have that. But the idea behind it is like, just get rid of that bullshit. And
it would be so nice if you could just like, if every part of it was like exactly like, let's say like 24 ticks or something. Like it wasn't like sometimes it was like 26, you know, it's just annoying.
Yeah, just something where like you go there and you kind of already know what you're doing. I'm sorry, but the more inconveniences there are, the more the place becomes a headache. And
I think what would really make it good content is, and they do this to a lot of their new stuff, is they make the startup time for the skill, like you walk up to the thing, it's 4 ticks, and then it repeats on 3 ticks, for example. I wish they would remove that on some mini games so you could use tick manipulation and you could like cut corners and save ticks with movement. It is a little annoying that you can't do that. So they literally say, this is going to be the max XP rate.
Yeah.
There is no skill expression once you are just doing it
Okay, so
that would make it kind of a rhythm thing, like you were saying.
You actually brought up a good point. So you know how, like, I don't know if you guys have killed Duke, the little fat slug guy.
Yeah.
But when you're running to the mushrooms, if you choose to sweat, you can do a little tick manipulation thing and gather the 2 mushrooms at the same tick.
Yeah.
If you want to. What would be cool is if like Giants Founder had something like that. And this would be, again, I'm just going to bring this up. I know everyone just memes it at this point, but like something like a gnome cube where you click it once and it starts. I say gnome cube. It's not my idea. People are freak out because they think it's my idea. It's not even my idea.
I like the gnome cube, for the record.
Thank you. I say gnome cube at this point because it's easier to say that because everyone knows what I'm talking about, rather than saying an item that can do a 3-tick skilling timer action. Like, just, we get the picture. It's a knife log action in 1 click. That's what I want.
I actually prefer the knife log.
Okay, why?
I think it's fucking cool that it's unintended.
Okay, we can have something unintended. The idea is not to make this like. The idea is not to make it.
To make it intended, but then be like, whoa, a holiday item. Wonder if we.
That's what we need. We need a random fucking holiday item or another slasher spark. The idea is just remove a click. Just remove a click that's completely unnecessary. That's the whole idea behind it. And so, imagine you're running Giants Foundry and you can do something where like you're running up to the hammer or you're running up to the grinder or whatever, and 2 tiles before you've showed up, you click the gnome cube and then you click on the thing and it gives you something. Like, imagine there was that little bit of extra effort you could choose to put into it if you wanted, and it's very simple. It would be kind of like the Duke mushrooms. And on top of that, get rid of the goddamn sword options. Like, why the fuck do I have to go to the sword menu every goddamn time at Giants Foundry?
That's silly.
Just to click the same shit? Like,
I will say that did not land as creative or interesting. Like, I get their idea of like, you're making different swords, but no, you're not really. It does not feel that way. That is one part of Giants Foundry that
dumb.
Does not make me feel like a badass smith. It makes me feel like I'm like itemizing.
Choose your weapon.
Itemizing.
Yeah,
okay,
because if you do without the plugin, you're kind of just like,
you're just looking down.
I guess this is better. Like, no, actually, this combination would be better. Like, they could at least make that part like. They could have made that part the like toddler matching color game, and I would have appreciated that more. You know?
Yeah,
no, but there's
I'm gonna give you that. The picking the sword part feels like dumb boo boo shit.
There's just little things like that, and there's also just really annoying things they add. Like, for example, if you're doing the hammer and then you click off of it for a tick and then immediately click back, the next hammer swing is like, oh, you moved a little bit, you little bastard. Like, we're not going to give you credit for that. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, who designed the place to make it so if you click away and then click back, you get fucked over? It's so dumb. Like, it's actually just pisses me off because whoever decided that was a fun or interesting or engaging mechanic or punishing, it's just like, this is all punishment for no good reason. And there's no rational argument for why they should be in the goddamn game. There's little things like that I just get so irritated by.
Wait, what? What is this hammer hitting?
Okay,
thing?
so you know how you run over to the heating, or the cooling water fountain whenever you make a sword, and then you instantly go over to the hammer. That's just kunk, kunk. If you go there, click it, and then accidentally go to like the heating thing, but then choose not to the very next tick, so like you're do like half runs and then half runs back. Within the time, you're still there at the hammer. The next hammer swing will be like, you moved. This doesn't count.
Yeah. Well,
it's like the winter Todd Braziers.
Right, but that's what I was explaining, how they make the startup time longer than the actual, like, the animation when you first interact with it is a longer tick cycle.
Oh, no. I will say, okay, so there's a problem with that. It would be cool if you showed up and if it's in the middle of the hammer swing, like just about to pound, you would still get credit. That's a problem in and of itself. But I mean, the other thing is you moving and then moving back within the time you're still there. And it just says like, it's to, in their mind, I think Jagex...
Does your character move a tile?
Yes. If your character moves a tile or two and runs immediately back within the time that you would normally still get the hammer swing.
It seems like what it is it's like a buffer for people that misclicked.
No. What it is that's a startup time.
No.
And what it prevents you from doing is other skills, animations, alking, any kind of other stuff during the minigame.
That is the stupidest game design.
Sure. So then we agree on that. That's what I was saying is.
Yeah.
By the way, they do that with, like, when you go click to mine in Gardens of the Rift, all the new content, all of it, has a startup time for their animations that is longer than the repeated action afterwards.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is they do not want you clicking on stuff in your inventory, clicking on the thing, clicking on stuff. It's that one mechanic with the long startup time removes all tick manipulation.
That is the dumbest implementation of all
Agreed.
time.
I'm not a fan of that.
Cares if somebody's alking during it? If they want to sweat, like, just fucking let them. Like,
right.
Just
I
no, don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna punish you for it. Don't do it. Like, why? Yeah. And they've done similar things where, like, I believe they did this for a certain reason that probably has a better reason for it. But, like, for example, in Barbarian Assault, you can't fletch or like alk or do anything. So if you're leeching a torso, you literally just can't do anything in there. You just have to fucking just sit there. It's like a just the stupidest arbitrary punishment.
No. I mean, you can understand.
Listen. I love BA, so I think that people shouldn't leech their torso. So
no, but the fact that they are gonna make an arbitrary punishment, like, why not?
It's not
just
arbitrary.
No, it is, because it makes absolutely no sense why you can't fletch. Like, am I just enslaved to some magical force that just doesn't let me goddamn fucking use this knife on this log right now? Like, what is this shit?
What do you mean? You mean it's irrational and that it doesn't make sense in the world of RuneScape?
Yeah, and it's dumb.
No,
and
that's not a good argument.
No,
that's not a good argument.
It is a dumb argument.
I'm wearing a cape
if you don't want the guy on your
now.
team, kick him off your fucking VA team.
While mining, bro.
Listen,
that's a terrible idea. Why the fuck am I wearing a massive cape while mining?
That's a good point. No, but you can choose to. You have the freedom to.
I would not go the reason of
you have the freedom to do that. The other stupidest thing they've ever done, and I can understand why they did it in the first place, but you are physically not able to trade a player at ZMI. Like, you just cannot trade. You cannot trade people. Like, and the only reason they did that is because it's the only thing they could have thought of to make it so Essence running. But the problem is that people just started Essence running lava runes, and every other altar that's literally faster than ZMI.
Yeah.
And then instead of just going back on their word and saying, okay, that was kind of a stupid little arbitrary restriction, just take it away, No, they just keep it. So like, just imagine a new player. There's just like weird things where like, oh, you can't trade in this place. You can't do this in this place. You can't eat an angler in the wilderness if you've been attacked in the last 10 seconds to heal up above 9. It's just like the most arbitrary bullshit to solve a little tiny issue that's not even an issue. And I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff.
I feel like a lot of the like inconsistency with RuneScape comes from them trying to put little arbitrary band-aids on top of things that I don't know. Like sometimes things do need fixing. I agree with that. But I even noticed this with like Deadman mode. Did you guys play Deadman at all?
No.
I watch
The
it.
point system in Deadman is so silly. Like I just don't understand it. The points count for absolutely nothing other than ranks, which is good because it's a competitive game mode, right? But it just feels like the only reason they put the points in the game mode was that so somebody could win fairly that wasn't like wooksing the final or like if the final got DDoSed or something. It just felt like this was their only way to make sure that somebody won and it was fair. And I just feel like that mindset goes through with so much new content too.
I agree.
It doesn't need to be fair for new players. Like it just make the game like beautifully fucked up.
Yeah.
We like breaking the game.
Dude, do
Like,
you
let
remember
us
how
break
they
it.
were do you remember how they were trying to do the prize pools? I think they're still trying to do it that way unless they
I
change
don't
something.
fucking know.
It was like we're not going to give the winner all the money. We're going to make it so the top 25 of each category, there's a 1 in 5 roll for the top 25. Just like some random shit where it's like, if you're in the top 5 in these 5 categories, then we're going to roll randomly who actually gets the prize money. So if you were actually first place, you have a 20% chance of actually getting the prize because we're going to roll it between the first 5 people. I'm like, what
I didn't
the
know
fuck?
that. That's crazy.
Like, what the
Wait, that
literal
didn't
fuck
happen
is
though,
this? Who
right?
decided this? Who approved this?
Wait, is that how it happened or no?
I'm pretty sure that's still the way they're doing. I need to pull up that blog post again. It's actually just like disturbing. I'm like what? I just genuinely don't understand what they were thinking.
That sounds insane. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll find it out. I'm not gonna try to search for it right now, but
I will say that the current Deadman mode is a little bit weird. How much it de-incentivizes PvP and incentivizes you to just play another Trailblazer League or whatever.
I don't know if that's true. In actually playing it, I think that was my. I actually have a video about like my first time Deadman experience that I'll put out. But I think that I thought that would be the case going in, and then I found out that wasn't the case. Because everything that you can get from getting it legitimately, you can get so much faster by PKing.
Oh, you do think it actually?
I think it does incentivize PKing. I really do, and I think that it incentivizes PKer. It like gives PKers more people to attack because there are like PVMers and skillers trying to get stuff through like I'm not saying legitimate as if PKing isn't legitimate, but you know what I mean, like through like actually obtaining it through like the NPCs and things like that. And I think that it incentivizes the PKers to go for the people that are just trying to like tank and get their way through it and get stuff that way.
So are you actually putting out this video?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. When's the drop?
Saturday.
Oh, hell yeah. So how long did you play for?
I played for about 5 days.
Was it fun? I mean, I'll keep
it was
short
really
so
fun.
You can tell me the story in the video, but
yeah, I do tell the story in the video.
But like
the video is it's called like is DMM fun for PvP noobs, and it's just like coming in as somebody who didn't know anything. Like, is this fun? And I did have fun. I think I would do things differently next time, but I still definitely did have fun.
Interesting. That's cool. Damn, so that makes me want to play DMM mode.
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. I will enjoy leagues more for sure.
Oh,
but,
I cannot wait for Trailblazer 2.
I also like I don't know if people know, but I have been like kind of getting more into PvP. I've been doing like a lot of LMS and stuff like that, so I'm not like completely removed from PvP. But yeah,
PvP is genuinely fun. Like when I do LMS, like I will go on benders where it's like I won't fucking sleep that night because I'll
yeah.
be
He just
so
drinks
addicted.
and plays LMS. That's what he means by bender.
There was I think it was 2 summers ago. I was so I think it was 2 summers ago. I was so massively addicted to LMS, and like there were literal nights where I stayed up until like 9 in the morning, like the next morning, just over and over playing LMS, and this is when
It's
the
so hard to
bots
not
weren't
click
as bad.
back into it.
It's
Dude,
so
that's
hard.
okay. That is crazy for me to hear because I have been. I kind of like PvP, but more than anything, I like killing people. Like what really made me do PvP was I liked killing people and taking their stuff that
Oh,
I
I
didn't
don't
have
care
to
about
go.
that.
Like that was what always drove me as a PvPer.
For me, it's just dominating somebody. Just like sit the fuck down.
Hell yeah.
I think the reason that I like LMS and stuff is kind of similar to the reason why I haven't been playing my Iron much anymore. Is because I realized I don't really care about items and things like that. The only thing that like really brings me immense joy in this game is getting better at it. And PvP just has such linear progression that, you know, you can very, very much see when you're getting better at things.
Yeah.
Interesting. It might be that if I'm not destroying everybody in a game, I feel like I'm dog shit. And so LMS, I played, I don't know, thousands of LMS games. But maybe my expectations for myself are too high, but I find it very frustrating because and part of it is there's no matchmaking, but
That's annoying.
almost every game I go into, I get into a fight where the guy that absolutely tears my asshole open has played 400,000 games of LMS and I will never beat him.
Yep. No, that's a serious problem. That the nice thing is for me, I would consider myself in like, I don't know, the 95th percentile or like the 5th percent, whatever the hell it is, where it's like I'm probably top 5% of like real players that go in there just because I've literally put in 20,000 hours in this fucking game.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to a point where for the most part, I can beat like everybody except if there's somebody that's actually a PKer, then they wipe my ass.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's fun for me. But if it was legitimate matchmaking, that would make it fun for everybody because there's people in there that truly are like they're on mobile or something, or like they're just struggling to just because they're not
When you
used
see
to
someone
the
like
clicks.
take a 4-way switch.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, they're really trying their very hardest, but they just
Yeah.
but for me, like I don't get. The only reason I'm in the LMS game is to have the one or two good fights, and almost always I'm smashing somebody who doesn't play the game, or it's the one guy who the boss music starts playing. I know 5 seconds into the fight, oh shit.
Yeah, but then you start to like kind of see their behavior and sort of like copy their actions, and you see yourself surviving longer against them and like getting more hits off prayer, you know, things like that.
Yeah, true.
It's kind of like you're playing with like a punching bag, you know, like you're never actually gonna win, but you sort of start to see the progress.
The most annoying thing about LMS is the fact that it's not on my preferred world. Like if I could do LMS on my perfect ping world, my god, like
I don't know,
the stars
man.
would align. But
I
like
actually like it on bad ping because then I got a forever excuse. I'm like 200 ping, bro. Like there
is that excuse you can pull out. Like if I'm doing LMS on stream, but like, dude, when you have to anticipate, like I have to literally do a 3-way switch, click the guy before anything's even registered, and I just have to like hope to God that all my clicks went off because like, I can't just wait until I see visual cues. It's like, no, everything is on like a literal full tick delay, like 0.6 second delay. It's horrible.
Yeah. Guys, I have to pee so bad. Can I have a second?
Yeah,
Sorry.
let's go pee.
Yep. Yeah.
One sec.
I mean, it's not like life threatening, but I will like be like,
You allergic to something? What's that?
I'm allergic to cats and dogs. I'm barely allergic to dogs, but cats are like if I'm in a house full of dogs, I'll start sneezing. But with cats, oh my god, like I'm just like gasping if there's enough cats
A house full of dogs.
What a good house.
Yeah, that sounds like Bates, Tennessee, you know what I'm saying?
So fucking true.
Too true.
Okay, we were talking about LMS ping.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like LMS as a mini game with a reward shop. I think it does a lot of really cool things to incentivize Iron Man or whatever kind of special accounts to like do PvP related stuff and get cool.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the rune arrows, little broken. It's kind of insane how much cash you can get for free doing nothing on like a.
I mean, the thing is like everything's broken nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
you just, the whole game has evolved. You just do whatever the hell is best, like, which mainly is just do LMS, rush Gauntlet, go to TOA. And it's just like, that's kind of like the journey now you take because they're just kind of like.
Is it really? Is that an Iron Man journey?
I mean, it seems to be. I mean, obviously you have to be skilling along the way.
I just want to point out you did it.
What?
Rushing Gauntlet means doing fucking Morning's End Part 2, right?
Yeah, no, and I'm
You're
saying
not really. That's
I'm
not
saying
really
for like
rushing
I'm saying for like a long term.
Okay,
like, I mean, when you're, I also am thinking of like the content creators that do it, like Alfie and Mutts, just like those crazy people that are playing like 16 hours a day.
I was like, you just described a Guns Chili video where he's like, "Hey, welcome to In Debt for a Pet. We're starting a new account. And in episode 1, we're gonna do the Gauntlet." And you're like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah.
Well, that was like the whole idea behind my whole Iron Man series was like an Iron Man that doesn't get a BOFA. Like I was like, this is unique enough because people don't do this anymore.
Yep.
An Iron Man that just doesn't get a BOFA, doesn't go for a T-bow. Like I was like, I'm gonna be an Iron Man that gets an RCB and does everything I need to with that. Yeah, kind of.
That doesn't get a BOFA. We're playing the same account, Zoe.
Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah, I mean, it's become so the meta recently. Oh, Sater, how do you feel about that new staff that's coming out?
What new staff? Oh,
the one that you get from the RS3 quest that is like in between the Ivan staff and the Trident.
Yeah, the Gluffery, whatever the hell thing. Mm-hmm. I need to look at it, to be honest. I don't really know much about it. Yeah, I just remember they talked about it. This is partly the problem as well when you don't play as much. Like this whole summer, I've just been like just more outside and stuff. Is like I have that expectation that I put on myself, and I feel like my audience also has, is like I need to be fully up to date from the get-go of like what's happening. Mm-hmm. And when I don't feel that, I'm like, oh God, like this isn't good. I should be in the know. But yeah, I don't know. I have heard about it, and I looked at the quest, but I don't know. I
think it's coming like next week.
That whole quest line and everything for the whole quest.
I haven't even done Desert Treasure 2. And I haven't even looked at the bosses.
Yeah, I
am in my own little world at the moment.
I've done Desert Treasure 2, but I've only killed like 370 Vardorvis and just a little bit of Duke, and I haven't even done the other two yet because I'm just focusing on Vardorvis. But it's like, yeah, I haven't put in like 100 hours or like what I normally would have done in previous years is like already putting like 150 hours or something into those bosses, and it's like I'm just slower with the knowledge and stuff. So I don't even know.
I'm really impressed with how much more casual players have been like grinding out the Desert Treasure 2 bosses. Because for me, I like them. I think they're well done. But they're like too much focus for me to want to do all the time. Like I want to do them sometimes, but it's not the same as like a raid or something where you've like, the time in between rooms. Like you don't have the time where you can like, like chill in P2 Verzik. Like it's so much focus all the time. I don't know how people are like, so many people have grinded out thousands and thousands of them.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
No, I mean, I don't know. And again, I don't really have that much experience with Vardorvis. I actually really enjoy that fight. They nailed that fight in particular because it's just so quick. It's very basic, but you still have to have some attention, and it gets a little bit more intense with, as the fight goes on. I don't know. There's something really satisfying about Vardorvis. I'm impressed by it. Duke, not a huge fan of. It's just, it's too slow. It's just like, oh my God.
Which one's Vardorvis?
He's like the red guy in the snow square.
With the axes flying.
Yeah. The axe flying guy. Okay.
Yeah. That one's really fun. And I want to do I'm such a goddamn idiot. So I got my first awakened orb. Mm-hmm. And
you started the fight.
Yeah. And then I fucking started the fight. I'm like, I know. I'm like, God damn it. So I was going to wait to use any of my orbs at all. I have like 6 or something, but it's like, now it looks like I already failed because I literally went in there because I got the orb and then I died. And so I looted my grave and I had like 2 mantas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can just do one more like normal kill. Like I'm good. I go in there and it starts the awaken fight. I'm like, God fucking damn it! Like,
So entering the boss chambers with the orb just starts the awakened version of the boss.
yeah, I think it
dummy.
asks like yes or something, and I just clicked yes because I didn't read the thing. I was like, yeah, like clearly I want to fight this fight. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, let me through. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like back when I was like 90k or something. Yeah.
Are you gonna practice for Blood Torva on another account, or are you just gonna full send it on?
I know this might sound a little arrogant, but it's like I don't think I'd actually have that big of a problem. The only one that's nerve wracking is Leviathan. Leviathan genuinely looks like a bitch toward the end.
Yeah.
But the other
Well,
ones,
because
like,
the rest of it is easy. It's just the end. That's the problem. It's just easy and long.
yeah, like I'll definitely take a few tries on every single one, but even Vardorvis right now, I've already been practicing as if I'm doing the Awakened version. Like I'll stand and then I'll do the little thing and go back.
A little walk there, walk back. Yeah.
So I feel confident with that one. And then people are saying Whisper is the easiest. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. So that's the easiest outside of the Awakened as well.
Yeah. My problem is I still don't have a Torva plate body. So I'm like, I don't really care about Blood Torva right now. I might as well wait until I have enough practice and I get the uniques from the other Desert Treasure 2 bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Blood Torva so bad.
Are you going to go for it?
I am absolutely going to go for it. But on my account, it means I have to do a shit ton of necks. And I'm not putting off doing Bofa and Inferno for all that. So
yeah, Torva's like really not even that big of an upgrade.
Right. I wasn't going to do Torva, period, because it looked like dog shit.
Yeah.
Like it looked like some kind of fucking like diary.
Thank
diary
you.
Here. Like it was
Thank
so
you.
bad.
It's grown on me now, but I agree.
No, we just all got used to it. But like, oh my god, when it first entered the game, I'm like, please fucking fix how
ugly.
disgusting this looks.
Yeah, but the second Mod Soften uploaded those fucking sketches of Blood Torva, I was like, oh no, I have to do next now because that looks so cool. So yes, I will be doing it eventually. It's too cool looking, and that's the only reason I play this game.
They should make blood bandos for the Pories.
Oh my god.
Yeah, blandos.
Blood bandos.
It's just beige.
We got blood bandos down here in the south. Down south in Lumridge, we got blood bandos.
No, it's a shame. Like I know they've made a few different iterations of Torva. I'm like, dude. Okay, there was one really, really well designed Torva that was a fan art thing. I'm gonna actually show you.
Was it mine?
Yeah, they just can't seem to get the proportions right on it.
Yeah, they keep making like it's dude,
like
they just
bigger shoulders, like fucking tiny head, like get
I
it
don't
together.
know, it's weird. Well, they did the fucking they never played WoW. You make the like top part of the arm small and the outer part bigger. And then the top part of the thigh small and the bottom part bigger. And then for some reason it looks fucking cool. I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
It just does. And they did the opposite. Each arm and leg like starts fat and goes skinny. So they got these limp little wrists and you're like, dude, what the hell is that? He looks like the Michelin Man. I hate Torva so much. Anyways, Blood Torva is awesome.
Yeah,
I want it a lot.
I'm just trying to search for this thing. I swear I've tried to search this up like multiple different times and oh, wait, is this the one?
How does doing the awakened bosses compare to like Inferno and the Inferno grind, and or is that not even a good comparison?
I haven't done them. I don't know.
I haven't done the awakened ones yet, but they do not seem. It's just tough, I think, because one is generally when people are doing the Inferno, they don't have any prior experience with like super end game stuff. But when people are going for Blood Torva, most people that are going for Blood Torva have already done multiple Infernos, have just done a shit ton of raids.
Also, they're very different skill checks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like a lot of solving the waves and stuff. You're dealing with really like weird fucking pathing game mechanics and stuff that doesn't really like. It doesn't even feel like it should be a mechanic. You're like, okay, this thing was built as a puzzle to solve, like where to. I don't know. It's just weird.
I love Inferno. It's
Okay,
so good.
Look at this. I found this finally. Look at this. I'm gonna show it on my end as well, but I'm gonna share this with you guys. You guys let me know. This is obviously, it doesn't seem to hit just as hard anymore because we've already just been so used to Torva, but this is the Torva I really wanted. The like,
yeah, see, like what Nine Rain said, it's like not the skinny ass legs and like the fucking skinny ass wrist.
It's so bad.
It's the
looking.
legs and the wrist that
Well,
that ruin it for me.
Right, and the where the arm ties into the armor should not be fat like that. It's
Yeah.
oh my god, I hate it so much.
No, so this
Oh my
version,
God.
when you look really close, first of all, it's not completely symmetrical, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like one of the shoulder
Yeah,
pads
the
is
asymmetry.
bigger.
It's got that Bandos
Yep.
energy.
The plate legs look fucking beast.
Yeah.
There's not a random X in the middle of your chest. It's instead they just remove it and just have it right on the belt line. And then the
That is
coolest
cooler,
part,
that's cooler.
the coolest part is it's not so just bland. It's like it's got a little bit
more
of that
purple.
forest green in the
Yeah.
chest and the arms. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That and a
fucking
little more
nailed
purple
this.
in it. Damn, that is better than the people who.
It's such subtle changes that make such a big difference.
I know. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
this, if I could wear this around, like, oh my God, I'd be like,
The way you
yeah.
said this, I just kept thinking of the Dr. Disrespect. Just
That's what Zoe
this.
always does
I
as
can
well.
wear this around. I was like, yeah, this.
No, this looks incredible. And yeah, I'm just, this guy nailed it. This guy fucking
Yeah.
nailed it. You know what's really cool? I'm gonna show you,
What's
something.
what's
as well.
really cool? This.
Let me look up third age boots. Let's see if it shows it there. Oh, this is so
You
cool.
did it again. You did it again.
I never
Hell yeah.
realized how much Dr. Disrespect is really grabbing his junk.
He really gets in there. It's
Yeah.
the more you look at it, the more uncomfortable it becomes for sure.
Shit. Yeah. Okay, look at this.
Ooh.
You keep saying this, bro.
I don't.
But you're like, look at this, and I'm like, okay,
I know.
that's cool. That's
look,
cool.
Look.
I
Okay.
like that.
First of all, third age boots don't have stupid wings on them. That's already a plus in
Love
my
it.
opinion. The boots look so good.
Whoa. The only reason I grinded that shit boss was for winged boots.
Dude, even Graceful has wings though. It's like, come on, like get rid of the wings on boots. We don't need them. So these boots look absolutely flawless.
It's not even reasonable to have wings on boots. Like
The D-hide shield looks insane. It's so simple. And then you got the third age crossbow, and that looks so goddamn sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I like it. See, that's
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
be
Is, like
honest.
things can be simple and like kind of neutral, but have detail and look really interesting.
yep. This would be an incredible.
I'm gonna be
update
honest, that's
for third
just a
age.
whole list of items that I'll never have, so I care about like this much.
Yeah, I just
No,
like
it-
whoever's making this, like whoever designed this, like this is just so well done, and this could be easily implemented with no complaints whatsoever. Like, except for a collection log now exists, so if you ever release new third age, people are gonna be like, "No, you fucking bastards!" Like I'm trying to get a full collection log, delete it because don't add any more third age because it devalues my grind.
Why don't they just add second age?
That would be that would cause the same problems.
Yeah, but I don't care about those people and their bad opinions.
But the thing is there's a lot of people that collection log now.
Not enough that their votes will outvote the herd.
They got loud voices, and there is quite a bit of collection loggers nowadays.
I don't know. They can fucking deal with it.
I know. I was talking to
My thing was green. It was green and I don't know, it's not.
I think it was
I don't know,
Mod
dude.
Bruno or Mod Ed I was talking to, and they were saying that it's going to be very, very hard for another Clue expansion to pass at this point because
That makes sense.
If they add a singular new easy Clue unique and somebody's already greened the easy log, they're going to vote no. And it's just like, oh, I've already done like literally they add, even if it's a common unique, it will still take hundreds of caskets to get from the get-go. And if it's a rare unique, it's going to take thousands. And if you've already done thousands,
make
of
another
clue scrolls,
type of clue scroll. I mean, that's an easy fix.
but I know,
Just make
but
another
the
category.
concern is that shouldn't even be necessary in the first place. But because we've gone down the road of collection logging and people care about it, it will be the same thing with a completion escape. If completion escape came out,
yeah, I get what you're saying about like it shouldn't be a concern, but whether or not it's a concern, just make a cool new thing, like a whole bunch of new steps that operate differently, where the mechanics are a little bit different, where you're still kind of going on a clue scroll-esque adventure, but it's just different. New mechanics, new puzzles, new whatever. No, I mean, and then just call it a new thing and stick it in a new log.
I know, but the thing is they now have to do that. There's no real option besides that, because people are going to vote no or freak out if anything's ever added. So just a little concern that I have with the future of clue scrolls and just other pieces of content. If you ever add anything and you've already green logged it, you're going to feel shitty about it.
I mean, people already maxed and sailing past, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a new problem for RuneScape to have with any, like, you know, like you're saying, this is a problem that they need to solve when designing new content, because old content exists in such a way, is an argument you could make for literally any other thing that they're going to design. And I think that they understand, hey, just keep designing it. And just keep putting out new stuff.
I see.
People are going to be upset about it, but like, you know, move on. You could, like, if they ever came out with a new thing for mining, and people are like, yeah, but I already did mining. It's like, yeah, I don't care.
Oh God, we can't talk about the Duke mining thing. I'm gonna get mad.
The Duke mining thing?
Don't worry about it.
No, tell us.
You don't know about the Duke mining thing, Sae Bae?
I think I do.
I have
just
no idea
the
what you're
fact
talking
that you
about.
can just click it once and just
you can just click it once. Like the thing that you mine at Duke, you can go just click it once. It's 10K an hour, and you can like 6-hour log there. And some people are very passionate about this. They think it's ruining the game's integrity.
Wait, you can like AFK mine for 6 hours?
I mean, you have to have like something on your keyboard. Like you have to be like pressing a key or something.
Oh my God.
a rock.
If you like put a rock on your spacebar, you're good. Yeah.
No, I mean, I understand why somebody would be concerned about that, but it affects people that are skillers.
Yeah. Well, it's like Levine that's complaining about it, which is why I don't want it to get fixed, you know?
Yeah. I don't know who that is, but
that's good.
Yeah.
Related to the singer-songwriter or no?
No.
Listen, first of all, I don't care because I'm just not in that scene, but I can at least understand why somebody would want to get that nerfed. And yeah, I haven't even.
No, I can too.
I mean,
but I think it goes back to what you said earlier about like when people have a bad opinion of you, then like all of your
that's exactly what happens.
Even your good opinions just go out the window.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm actually gonna go on record saying I don't know why the hell they created something that you can.
It wasn't intentional.
I mean,
okay, well, they should.
I don't know, because they kind of do shit like that. But generally, what happened? Like they tried to do that with Blisterwood Tree. When Blisterwood Tree came out, it was literally something you click, and there was a way for you to just hold your
it's like mining Ivy in RS3.
Yeah, it was something where like you just click it, and then all you have to do is just have like one key on your keyboard that's flicking between the tree and your inventory popping up, and then you just click, and it drops the logs or whatever. And if you had an auto clicker or whatever, even if you were just to have like a foot pedal or just anything, you could just be laying in bed or something and just clicking, and you're just getting like a ton of woodcutting XP. But this is like you click once, go to sleep for 6 hours, and you've gotten 60,000 mining XP. So I understand it's kind of broken. Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
I am going to do that.
I think you should
soon.
But it doesn't help when the worst, some of the people with the worst takes and the old
that's exactly what I mean.
Only people bringing it up. So yeah, that's.
I'll bring it up. I'll release the 9 rain got 99 mining video.
It's like they're like the people in class that were like, didn't we have homework due today? Like, shut up.
Like, shut the fuck
Oh
up.
my god,
Fucking shut
I
up.
hated those people.
Yeah.
Like, oh
those
yeah,
people
no,
suck.
guys, leave in the room. Come back in here. We got homework. Like, oh my god, I was already out the door.
my
Dude,
God.
I forgot about that whole. I forgot about those people. They suck, and they're still out there now. Like they
They're
were
still out
those
there.
people,
And they're
play
successful as
RuneScape.
hell. No.
Now they're adults, and they're still doing that. Those pieces of shit.
No, but I mean, I haven't even really thought about that as a thing. But yeah,
Hey,
do you
hey,
remember when? I don't know if you guys were really playing. I don't know if Zoe was playing, but there was a point in RuneScape where you could 6-hour Guthans in Nightmare Zone.
I wasn't playing them, but I know of this time.
And like you wouldn't even have to do anything. You literally just
Yeah.
log in, and your guy just doesn't log out if he's under combat. So you
Well,
would,
Nightmare Zone is a disaster in its own right.
Thank you. Yes, it's an abomination to this game. But
What?
but like I mean you would
No.
literally gain.
But
Shut up, fucking 1900 total. Shut up.
bro. My
Go to
PK
Sand
alts.
Crabs.
How am I supposed to get fucking 150k on my pure?
Yeah, I mean
to Sand
you
Crabs.
would literally get 99 combats within like a month of just sleeping.
Yeah.
Like you just like okay, there's clearly there's something wrong with this. Like
Yeah.
what the hell.
Yeah.
I will say I've had my baby pure at Nightmare Zone with the Venator bow for like a week now. Feeling pretty good. Pretty good. We're approaching 96 ranged.
Yeah. I mean, if it's already in the game, then like you might as well use it, you know? Might as well use things to your advantage.
Amen. Like other people.
Yeah, you should start taking advantage of people.
Yeah.
Me doing my Grandmaster combat achievements.
Wait, what?
Just taking advantage of people to do team stuff with you.
Oh, I see. Me win Grandmaster achievement.
So true.
So do you guys have any plans of getting I know like the Based After Dark podcast is now just kind of talking the shit, but you do get guests on here and there. Is it just focused on getting people that are like familiar, like kind of friends, or do you?
I'm sure at some point we'll have other guests on.
The plan right now is playing it
don't
by
know.
ear. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're in a period right now where anytime we make a minute change, we're like really hyper analyzing the analytics because podcasts are, I'm sure you know, are like so finicky with what does well and what doesn't do well. So we're just in an experimental period right now, and we're gonna try out different stuff. But yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can kind of wrap it up here. What do you guys think?
yeah.
Yo, this has
Sounds good
been
to me.
good. It's been
So-
fun.
Let me let the audience know down in the description, guys. Zoepancakes and Nine Rain I'll have their socials down there. Follow them on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and well, Nine Rain's never on Twitch. You're just YouTube, right? But I'll still link your Twitch. Right?
I'll be there. Hey, next video that drops, you'll see me on Twitch
Okay, cool.
and YouTube. I'll do a stream it and break my what? Never mind.
And yeah, so for those listening, go do it for me. Go drop a follow for them and or for me, drop a follow on their socials. And let's see. Next week is still not set in stone. I have like 3 different guests up in the air, so yeah, we'll wait for that. But Zoe and Nine Rain, do you guys have any final comments before we wrap it up for good?
I would just like to say, fuck the high level community.
Amen. Yeah, no. I'm gonna second that.
Yeah, to say it, you can't just second it.
Oh, fuck
No,
the high
it's
level
been a
community,
pleasure.
for
I'm
sure.
very glad to be on again. Thank you for having us.
This was
on.
fun. It was a lot of
Yeah, this
fun.
was nice.
Hanging out
Thank
with
you,
both
guys.
of you guys. So
Cool. All right, guys. If you want to support the cast, down in the description as well, there's a Patreon link. Also, I'll have the Based After Dark podcast link down there for if you guys want to check out Zoe and Nine Rain. They're both hosts on the cast, so you guys can check that one out.
Very different vibe.
Yeah, significantly different, but it's still, your favorite creators talking about stuff. So not RuneScape.
Not RuneScape. Never RuneScape.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.